Phoenix, Arizona, unmistakable. A beautiful shot of the desert here in Arizona as the first game in Pool D is about to get underway here at Salt River Fields at Talking Stick. That's an aerial shot via the blimp. We're going to get some beautiful shots throughout the day. Matt Yaloff along with Jeff Nelson here for Italy against Mexico. This is the manager, Marco Mazzieri, of the Italian team, back-to-back European champions. And on top of his lineup today in game one is Nick Punto. He's a seasoned Major League veteran. He's playing second base, followed by Chris DeNorfia, also in the major leagues. He plays center field. Anthony Rizzo, we talked about him in the open. Rizzo's at first base, followed by Alex Leedy. He's a hero in Italy, making it all the way to the majors. Chris Colabello follows. Mike Costanzo in left field. Marco Chiarini in right field. Drew Butera of the Minnesota Twins is doing the catching and hitting eighth. And Anthony Granado is your shortstop, hitting ninth. Fans are out in force for sure, representing their nation, Italy and Mexico. Proud fan bases for sure, Jeff.
A lot of team support of Team Mexico. You expected that.
Here's Rodrigo Lopez. If you know the name, it's because he's been in the major leagues for over a decade. What does he bring to the table?
He's an 11-game Major League season veteran. 2011, he had 16 starts. He threw over 200 innings a couple times in his Major League career. He won 15 games a couple times in his career, Matt. He's with the Phillies on a minor league contract. He's very experienced. I remember him when he was with the Orioles. Has a fastball, a little slider, breaking ball, a little changeup. He knows how to pitch. That's the one thing Team Mexico is excited about, Matt, is their pitching. We're going to go around the outfield. We have Edgar Gonzalez in left field, Arredondo in center field, Kareem Garcia out in right at third base, Cruz, shortstop Velasquez, Pena, Ramiro Pena at second base, Adrian Gonzalez, the leader of this team, at first base, and behind the plate, Cotto just signed on with the Diamondbacks here in November, Matt.
We're going to say it many, many times, but Adrian Gonzalez, he is the face of this Mexican team. It's his third World Baseball Classic. He is more than proud to play in this tournament, and he's not the only Dodger there. No, you have Cruz over at third base, who had an outstanding year for him. This guy hit almost 340 RBIs in only 78 games, and you know they're excited. You know, I talked to Adrian Gonzalez behind the plate. During batting practice, he was explaining that they were just so excited about this pitching staff and ready to get this thing on the way. They feel that they can win this. They're looking to San Francisco. And they're under the radar. I think it's safe to say that out and about over the last few days, as we've talked to folks involved with the World Baseball Classic, this is the team in the pool that goes under the radar, but they are a confident bunch for sure. Well, they do. I mean, you look at USA and Canada. Canada with Votto and Morneau. They have some young pitching, but their lineup is stacked. USA, obviously, everybody knows who they are. Mexico, they have a lot of guys that have played in the Mexican League that you won't see over here in the United States. One of the center fielder, Arredondo, I mean, here's a guy that you could be the third or fourth outfielder of many teams, but won't be able to do that. And this is Nick Punto leading off for the Italian team, and we're underway. Punto is one of Gonzalez's teammates for the LA Dodgers. Well, Italy has to go up. They're not a power hitting team. They have to take pitches. You're talking about these starters with 65 pitch limit for Lopez, so they're going to have to work the count a little bit and try to get these guys. You talk about the pitching staff for Mexico, try to get their pitch count up, and that way you kind of eliminate that 7th, 8th, 9th inning guy and go straight straight to some of the middle guys where maybe Mexico's a little weak in. Nick Punto fouls one back, and he's behind 1-2. The pitching that Italy is going to see, starting with Lopez, this is a far cry from what they see on a regular basis, the guys who don't play in Major League Baseball. Well, the Italian Baseball League, talking with Mike Piazza, was probably saying maybe a high A league. You got a lot of older players over in Italy. Some of the ones that have played over here in the minor leagues and have gone over there and played in the summer leagues over there. So they're not used to seeing guys that throw 90+ miles an hour and strike out stuff. And there it is, strikeout number one. Punto's gone. Well, that was a nice fastball right down the middle of the plate. You look at this, he gets ahead of Punto.
Nice sinker, nice balance right there on the outside part of the plate, a little bit up, but he got the call.
And Nick Punto doesn't agree with the home plate umpire on that call. We're just getting underway, though. There's going to be a long day to disagree.
Oh, and he said already. I mean, I get this during the regular season. I got to get this the first at bat of the baseball classic.
This is Chris Denorfia now of the San Diego Padres. Like Punto, this is a grinder. This is a guy who knows how to play the game and gets the most out of his talent.
Well, he's a speedster out there, and they got to get these guys on base for an Anthony Rizzo or an Alex Leedy, for them to be able to score some runs. You're a little bit surprised. I mean, you take spring training guys, and what do? They're geared up to hit the fastball. They don't want the breaking ball. They don't want the off-speed stuff right away. They've let some good fastballs go so far with the first couple hitters here for Italy.
You know, Chris Denorfia couldn't wait to get to the World Baseball Classic. In '09, he was phenomenal, hitting 400 in that tournament.
Yeah, and they're excited. I mean, they surprised Canada in '09. They beat them up there in Toronto, and that's what they want to do here. They're very confident. You get the butterflies out here in the first inning. I'm sure Rodrigo Lopez, few strikes, get the first strike out of Nick Punto. There goes the butterflies. They're all settled in.
That one just missed.
Yeah, you get the high strike. It looks like the home plate umpire Jim Reynolds is calling the high strike. You get a nice little sinker on the outside part of the plate, knee high. That's a good pitch.
That's a fly ball to right field, and it's going to land in the bullpen. That's a foul ball, so we'll do that all over again. They're seeing a lot of pitches here in the first inning.
Well, a little bit surprised. And, I know they're going to come out, Matt, and try to work the count a little bit, get their pitch count up, because, Italy knows that Mexico has a great pitching staff. In some ways, I'm surprised that they're not more aggressive, maybe hitting the first couple pitches and not letting Rodrigo Lopez settle into a rhythm.
Fly ball to right center field. It finds a lot of space and goes all the way to the track, and Denorfia is in scoring position for Italy.
Well, Matt, sometimes when you make a good pitch like Rodrigo Lopez did, looking for a strikeout, he doesn't get it. He kind of leaves a fastball up in the zone, and Denorfia does a great job of staying with it and hitting it right center field for a double.
I mentioned Denorfia hit 400 in the last World Baseball Classic. He had 3 doubles in that tournament, already 1 now. And that sets the stage for the guy we talked about in the open, Anthony Rizzo.
Yeah, absolutely. You got a runner in scoring position with less than 2 outs. This is if you're Rodrigo Lopez, you almost kind of want to pitch around him a little bit and not let him hurt you. This is all about the run differential. You want to score some runs and obviously win the game. But a quick strike on the outside part of the plate, I think he's going to wind up staying away from Rizzo.
6'3", 240 pounds. We spoke with him the other night. He is every bit of that for sure.
Yeah, he's a big guy.
And that one to center field drops in. Denorfia is held up at third, and Italy has something cooking.
Well, Lopez gets ahead with a fastball, and then he comes back with a changeup, trying to keep Anthony Rizzo off balance. He just gets just enough of it, and Rizzo was able to get down there. And the runner Denorfia, a great deke by the center fielder for Mexico, Arredondo, acted like he was going to catch the ball, ran in, took it on one hop, and he kept the runner from scoring.
With 1 away and runners on the corners, Alex Leedy steps to the plate. This is the first Italian-born player to learn the game in Italy and make it all the way to Major League Baseball. He plays on the Seattle Mariners.
Yeah, last year he hit 224 actually with the Mariners. Had 3 home runs. He does have some pop. Here's the guy that's trying to be the setup guy in a way, with Anthony Rizzo hitting ahead of him. Rodrigo Lopez does a great job of getting ahead. He's done a great job so far with the first pitch strikes. He's looking for a ground ball double play and try to get out of this inning with no damage.
That one high and in, count even 1-1. They love his potential. He hasn't played yet every day at the major league level, but folks, involved with the Italian team believe he will star one day in the United States?
Yeah, you know, you have Ackley over at second base. You have Sager, who's played third base for the Mariners. Two young guys, two young and up and coming guys, just like Leedy. He's a big guy, 6'4". I mean, you don't know if this guy could be an outfielder somewhere or, you know, maybe some trade bait, but absolutely, he's got a lot of potential. You see Rodrigo Lopez, we're talking about old school pitchers, how some of these young guys tend to get away from throwing in. First two pitches to Leedy, fastballs on the outside part of the plate, one for a strike, one to keep him honest.
Lopez being very careful here. Leedy can change a game with one swing.
Well, you get the fastball inside, sets up something away, and he just missed. Look at Anthony Rizzo over there, his lead. He's not a speedster. I think if he dove back to first, he'd be hitting his chest on the bag.
And that's a line drive base hit, and Italy keeps the line moving. Leedy drives in the first run in the first game on U.S. soil here in the 2013 WBC.
Well, what did we talk about in the opening? Don't take them lightly. A nice little slider, kind of hung out over the middle of the plate, and Leedy was able to stay with it and hit it in the center field for an RBI. You know, that's one thing that you look at Italy, and you know, they're not giving up. They don't care if they're the underdog or not. They say, hey, you get us on base. We have some guys who'll pop. You look at Leedy, you know, not a big career so far yet in the big leagues. Had an outstanding 2009, and here we go. We started right off the bat with a big hit here in game one.
And there's more power now with Chris Colabello stepping up.
No,
another big guy.
Yeah,
too.
Absolutely, man. We saw this guy go deep, hit it over the scoreboard against the A's a couple days ago. I like this guy. What a great story. He had a friend email every ball club just for him to get a chance and get a major league invite. Last year, he was with the Twins in Double-A, had an outstanding year, 19 homers and 98 RBIs in Double-A for the Twins, and now he's in big league camp.
This one down the right field line. Gonzalez on the move and comes up short, out of play.
And the Dodgers are holding their breath.
I think a lot of people were holding their breath.
We look at Gonzalez. He's looking at the ball. He wants to make that over-the-shoulder catch, and he, you know, just barely is able to slide on that tarp roll. Usually the big league stadiums down those lines, you have a lot more foul territory. Here in spring training, they kind of cut it down, kind of make it more of a fan experience. I mean, this is an amazing ballpark.
This is the 20th pitch already for Lopez, and there's only one out in the first inning. And as Jeff mentioned, pitch limits in this tournament, 65 pitches in the first round is all you can go.
Well, he did a great job for the first two hitters by getting ahead. He's getting ahead, but now when he's pitching out of the stretch, a little bit different, and he's a little bit more wild in the zone. You know, from the windup, he's nice and settled, nice and balanced. From the stretch, he seems a little rushed out there.
That one down. You saw Rick Renteria, the manager, bench coach for the San Diego Padres.
Not too happy about the strike zone so far.
Probably thinking ahead already to who's going to be next.
Yeah, I wouldn't be happy with it either. I'm a pitcher. I think everything's a strike. I don't think Rodrigo Lopez has thrown a ball so far.
Purely objective.
Oh, yeah. And it's tough when you know you make that pitch against Denorfia on the outside part of the plate. It looks like the home plate umpire Jim Reynolds has a high strike zone today so far in the first inning. You throw a knee-high strike, you don't get it, you kind of let down as a pitcher, and then you make a mistake. Denorfia hits it in the gap for a double, and next thing you know, you got a little damage here. Nice high fastball by Rodrigo Lopez up in the zone, and Colabello is not able to handle it for the second out of the game.
Mike Costanzo is now the batter, and if the name sounds familiar, Costanzo was drafted high by the Phillies in 2005, but really never made it in the major leagues until last season when he finally debuted for Cincinnati.
Yeah, great story. You know, he's got a great arm out there in left field. We saw him almost throw a runner out against the A's the other day. Got a lot of power. He's kind of got a loopy swing, so if Rodrigo Lopez can stay up in the zone a little bit, he might be able to get out of this inning with only 1 run. 29 years old. Springfield, Pennsylvania. And that's what you're taught as a pitcher. The pitching coach wants you to throw down in the zone. Rodrigo Lopez has done that, you know, just a little bit too low. He hasn't gotten the call from Jim Reynolds.
Big spot for Costanzo in Italy here. Swing and a miss.
82 mile an hour, looked like a changeup on the outside part of the plate.
Lopez has been getting ahead of a lot of guys.
Yeah, and you know what? He's made the pitch to get the outs and to strike guys out, you know, and then he's not getting the call. And the next thing you know, he leaves the ball up out over the middle of the plate, and he's gotten hurt.
There's a shot to the right side. They're waving the runner, and Rizzo is in. 2-0 Italy.
Well, Matt, that's a little, you know, that might be just bad pitch selection right there. You get ahead 1-2, you throw a nice changeup on the outside part of the plate, and then you try to come in with a fastball. And Costanzo's able to handle it and hit it in between the second baseman and the first baseman for an RBI single with 2 outs. Of course, you know, Rizzo's going to run. He doesn't have a lot of speed, but he's going to score on that. So if you're going to come inside here, you know, talking about spring training again, location for these guys aren't you know, as good as you're going to see maybe during the regular season or even in April. Right there, Rodrigo Lopez missed his location.
Mario Chiarini is your next batter. 2 men on and 2 outs in the top of the first. Italy was pretty steadfast over the last few days. They told us, we're not here just to be here. We're here to win games. And they've started off very, very well.
Well, you know, the manager Mazzarri, I mean, he was very confident today. You know, Marco Mazzieri, he said, you know what, they're happy. They were upbeat during batting practice. A lot of chatter, a lot of talk. You know, I don't know if it's good to be the underdogs or whatever, but they don't consider themselves as the underdogs. They consider, hey, we're in a tough bracket, but you know what, we're going to prove everybody that we belong here.
Marco Mazzieri, if there is any person whose heart and soul is in the Italian program, it's him.
Yeah, you know, he's played in that Italian baseball league for years. You know what? Good player, you know, and now he's an international scout with the Dodgers. He was with the Mariners for about a 4-year span. I mean, he loves Italian baseball over there. He would like to see it get better as far as, you know, he played in the good years in the early 80s. And then where they were getting 5,000-6,000 fans a game. And then he saw it drop a little bit. He played, what, 20 years over there?
20 years. He looks like he could still play.
Oh, exactly. And then he was brought over here in 2001 to the Orioles. Sam Perlazzo, one of his mentors. Mike Hargrove. You have Trebelhorn, who is in the dugout with Italy. And that's how he became a manager.
They are making Lopez work.
Well, 30 pitches, 65 pitches. Here's 30 of them in the first inning. He's only got 2 outs.
We told you in the open of our game that Italy, back-to-back European champions, ranked 9th in the world, ahead of Mexico. And you wouldn't think that when you look at the rosters.
No, absolutely not. You wouldn't. I mean, especially watching batting practice today and watching the different teams.
Full count now with 2 outs, so we're going to be on the move here.
Well, Costanzo took second, kind of like a delayed steal, but then it got away from the catcher Cota, and he was able to get in there to second base easily.
Drew Butera is on deck, the catcher for the Minnesota Twins, but right now 3-2 on Chiarini with 2 men on and 2 out.
Well, right there, Matt, you didn't want to give in to him. You want to try to make him hit a fly ball. get something, in the strike zone. Maybe Rodrigo Lopez a little bit frustrated. There you go, Teddy Higuera walking out to give Lopez a little breather. 32 pitches so far here in the first inning, Matt.
What would he be telling him right now?
I think settle down. I think, you look at the at bat with Denorfia. He got ahead of him. He kind of wanted that strikeout on the outside part of the plate, and it's frustrating as a pitcher because you're facing an Italian team that you don't want to give them. You don't want to give them anything. You don't want to start a rally, which is exactly what's happened. And sometimes as a pitcher, it's a letdown. Then all of a sudden you start making bad pitches. The one against Costanzo, he made a bad pitch on the inside part of the plate. He missed his location. Next thing you know, you have bases loaded. You're 32 pitches in. And you got to try to get out of this inning with just limited damage. Basically settle down and take a breath. You need a breather after a long inning like this.
And it's not over yet. He falls behind now on Butera.
Well, you see him aiming the ball as he's almost like throwing darts. That was 85 miles an hour. We've seen him hit 88 to 89, and you're letting it go. Right now you're just trying to throw strikes, and as a pitcher it's easy up here and saying, okay, just let it go. And I think that's what maybe Teddy Higuera came out to tell him as well. Don't aim the ball.
From a hitting standpoint, Italy is doing exactly what Mike Piazza told us they needed to do.
Take pitches.
Work the count, put the pressure on the pitcher, and not swing at balls that are not exactly what you want in your situation.
Well, earlier, Lopez was able to get ahead of guys, but now he's falling behind. And when you're falling behind against, any hitter, they're going to make you pay. He's not able to control his breaking stuff. His slider is not as sharp. His changeups, a little bit up in the zone, and the Italian team's able to handle that, and it's tough. And you're all of a sudden now tiring out there. Lopez, you can see him tiring out on the mound. And now you have an experienced major leaguer in Butera, had some time with the Twins last year behind the plate.
So Italy with a 2-0 lead, and the pitcher for the Italian team hasn't stepped on the field yet. John Mariotti. He's got to like what he sees right now. He wants more.
Yeah, he does definitely want more. And also after you're warmed up and then all of a sudden you come back and you're sitting in a dugout for a long time, it's going to be interesting to see how he handles the first inning as well. But hey, you have a cushion. It gives you a little breathing room.
He goes full again. Bases loaded, full count to Butera. Already 2 runs in, and we're only in the top of the first. We've talked about the pitches and the number of them already. There's action in the Mexico pen right now. This is not what they had planned for Lopez.
No, absolutely not. 38 pitches so far, and you're making some good pitches here to the 8-hole hitter in Butera. And the worst thing for a pitcher is you're making good pitches, and next thing you know, he's fouling a bunch of pitches off. And it's 3-2, bases loaded, nowhere for Butera to go. And this is tough when you're out there on the mound.
Staying alive.
Fighting them off.
Make them work. Make them work.
You're out there saying, put it in play. You're killing me right now.
It's Cobos in the pen for the Mexican team.
Well, we were hearing something that maybe Alfredo Aceves was going to follow Lopez, but here's a situation when you need a reliever to get ready quickly and try to get out of an inning. You don't go to Aceves right away. You go to a guy like maybe a short guy, someone that's only going to give you an inning or two or get you out of a key jam.
Here comes the 8th pitch of this at bat. Italy does some damage, scoring a couple of runs. Chris Denorfia with a double. Alex Leedy with a base hit. Mike Costanzo comes through. The European champs are off to a fast start. It is baseball heaven in Scottsdale, Arizona. This is Salt River Fields at Talking Stick. One of the most beautiful facilities you've ever seen. The starting lineup for Mexico against Team Italy. Eduardo Arredondo leads off. He's your center fielder. Followed by Ramiro Pena, the second baseman. Luis Cruz is followed by Adrian Gonzalez. Jorge Cantu is your 5-hitter. Kareem Garcia is in right field. And the pitcher for Team Italy is John Mariotti.
Yeah, he doesn't throw real hard, about 85 to 88 miles an hour. Has a good changeup. You'll see him back that up and throw it maybe 2-3 times right in a row. It's all about throwing strikes. Last year in Quebec, 16 starts, had a good year, 10-1 with a 4.03 ERA. Was talking to William Holmberg, the Italy pitching coach, the other day when we watched him. It was all about, he was happy they didn't walk anybody, and that's what they can't do here, is put guys on base, especially with Mexico. But he wasn't happy because they weren't getting ahead of guys, and they need to get ahead of guys, throw strikes. They don't have swing and miss stuff there on the pitching staff for Italy.
You sit in that dugout and you watch your team take a lead, and you're thrilled with a 2-0 lead, but are there butterflies? You just want to get the first inning out of the way?
Well, you want to get to the first hitter out of the way. I mean, once you throw that first strike and then, you kind of settle down, the nerves start settling down a little bit. He gets his first strike, a little bit of a tight zone right behind the plate with Jim Reynolds. I don't know if I would last too long in this game either.
But you'd be quiet about it, right?
Oh, no way. I'm staring in, pointing at him, maybe showing him up a little bit.
And he lost him. Defensively behind Mariotti, what are we looking at?
Well, we'll look right around left to right. We have Costanzo in right left field, Denorfia in center, Chiarini in right, Leedy at third base, Granado at shortstop, Junto, the veteran, at second, Rizzo at first base, and Butera, the Minnesota Twins catcher, behind the plate. And what, they didn't walk a guy the other day when we saw him, and the first batter for Mexico gets on with a walk.
Ramiro Pena is up next, and you know him from the New York Yankees.
Yankee days. He was a utility guy. We saw him go deep the other day against the Dodgers. So when you got your, I guess, little second baseman hitting it out of the park, watch out.
He can play the game.
He can. He's experienced. And here we go. We see Butera going out to talk to Mariotti a little bit just to settle him down. And you talked about nerves early. He gets a 2-0 lead. Yeah, you should, feel a little comfortable with it. But he's only thrown one strike in the 4 or 5 pitches or 6 pitches that Mexico has seen. It's all about settling down. He's in the zone, but right now Jim Reynolds is not giving him anything. He's not giving the low strike. He's making both sides get the ball up a little bit.
This Italian team steadfast when they told us they have to pitch and they have to play defense to survive.
Well, they scored 2 early runs. Maybe it surprises Mexico a little bit. Maybe surprise Rodrigo Lopez. They get an early lead, and you just mentioned they got to pitch. They got to play defense. They don't have a lot of guys that are going to hit the ball out of the park. You have to throw strikes. And right now you got to settle in, and Mariotti needs to settle in just a little bit. Arredondo over there at first base has a lot of speed. They're going to test Butera behind the plate. And the other day we didn't see Italy hold runners very well, and the A's were running all over them.
Arredondo led the Mexican League with 27 stolen bases, as you see Adrian Gonzalez waiting for his turn.
Well, there you get a questionable pitch that went to Mariotti's way.
He would love to come up in this inning with men on base.
Oh, absolutely, and that's what you need. You need to get guys on first and second. That way, at least somebody on first. That way you can't pitch around Gonzalez. You have to pitch to him because there's no place to put him.
Arredondo is a threat, not just to steal, but in 2012 he was on base nearly 40% of the time.
Well, here's a guy that we won't see over here in the United States.
And that's a shot to the gap in right center field. Cut off by Denorfia. And now Mexico's in business with 2 men in scoring position.
Well, it's all about, getting ahead of hitters. And when you don't have strikeout stuff, you're not throwing very hard, 85 to 88 miles an hour. You get behind guys, you're going to get hurt no matter what it is. Here's a changeup that's right out over the middle of the plate, and Pena was able to handle it and hit it in the right center field gap. He stayed back, and when you don't have a great differential between your fastball and your changeup, only right now about 5 or 6 miles an hour, these big league hitters are going to be able to pick that up pretty easily.
Still nobody out in the bottom of the first. Luis Cruz swings at the first pitch and pops it up behind the plate.
Well, it looks like he got a first pitch changeup, and he was just a little bit aggressive. We wanted to drive those 2 runs in and tie this game up. Just out in front of it just a little bit. And that's kind of not what you wanted, because now you have first base open with one of the best hitters in the game in Adrian Gonzalez.
I know it's the first inning, and I know you don't want to get yourself in more hot water, but is it possible they put him on here?
Well, for one, I mean, you're talking about, did Italy surprise anybody by scoring 2 runs? No, it's not too early. I mean, you want to beat Mexico, you want to surprise everybody, and maybe this is an upset if Italy wins this. But absolutely, I mean, if you're Mariotti, you're gonna try to pitch around them anyway and make your pitch. And I think Adrian Gonzalez kind of knows that. He looks at the first pitch. Now you got to go to work. You may see some changeups on the outside part of the plate, but Adrian, you know, he can go to all fields.
He can work a pitcher as good as anybody in baseball.
And that's the thing you just mentioned. Is it too early for an intentional walk? I mean, if you're a pitcher out there, you can't find a strike zone anyway. Why waste 6 or 7 pitches when you're going to put this guy on first base anyway? You know, just throw 4. You know, cut down the pitch count. Good changeup there, right there, by Mariotti, and he will back it up. He'll throw back to back. He doesn't have swing and miss stuff. You see a nice change up, a circle change down in the zone. Surprised Adrian Gonzalez a little bit. Saw him the other day throw 2, 3, 4 sometimes right in a row. There's another changeup. That circle change kind of goes down and away from left-handed hitters. You don't see too many righties throw it to right-handed hitters, usually just lefties.
Rick Renteria, he knows this offense is capable. 2-0 doesn't mean anything to him. Here comes the 2-2 to Gonzalez. Oh, and this one bounces away. The runner holds. Now there's confusion on the bases. And Pena is back. Pena went. Arredondo did not.
Yeah, you know, the ball got away enough for Arredondo to get it to third base. Here's another changeup to Mariotti. Just hits off of Butera's right shoulder and gets away. You got to have that as a run. It gets off the plate. I know it bounces off, and even Butera thought that Arredondo was going to score on that, and I think Pena was too.
Arredondo goes back to third, and Pena is very lucky that he got that.
Exactly. You know, you're talking about Pena, an experienced major leaguer, said this is an easy opportunity for us to score the first run. I'm going to third with Gonzalez up, and it doesn't happen. Here we got De Silva in the bullpen for Italy. And this again. I mean, how much do you let your starters out there or any pitcher out there get in trouble? Because it's all about wins. It's all about keeping, the run differential. You don't want to let your guys out there waste away and get hammered.
And Gonzalez shows patience, and now the bases are loaded for Mexico.
Well, Matt, that was 5 changeups in a row, and obviously Mariotti wasn't going to give in. That's what I'm saying. If you're automatically going to put him in, put Gonzalez on first base, why waste it? I mean, you're taking a chance. You got lucky there with the wild pitch that Arredondo didn't score, and you just wasted 5, 6, 7 pitches there when you were going to give him a walk anyway. Pitching coach William Holmberg out there to talk him. Same thing as Aguirre on the other side. Come out and settle him down a little bit. You got one out, looking for a ground ball double play. Get out of this inning with nothing.
I should mention the run differential that you brought up.
Yeah.
It's all because of possible tie breaks, getting out of pool play. If there is a tie down the line to get out of pool play, the amount of runs you score will be formulated, and it could make a difference. But right now, the big problem for the Italian team is bases loaded and Jorge Cantu at the plate.
Lot of power. Jorge Cantu, lot of power. Hit the ball out of the ballpark. I was talking to him today. I was like, how do you not have a job right now? He's a free agent, major league free agent. Great guy. Great guy in the clubhouse. And he was telling me, he said, there's like 7, 8, 9 teams here. And basically, you know, if I perform, I'm going to get a job. Perfect opportunity for him to get a job right here.
We remember his days with the Marlins as a run producer. And here's a fly ball that gets down and goes all the way to the wall. 1 run is in, 2 runs in, and here comes the 3rd run. Mexico on top.
Great start. You know, great lead in too. You know, show us what you can do, and you'll find a job. Well, he just had a bases clearing double. Jorge Cantu puts Mexico up. Well, Mariotti gets behind, and here we go. We get a changeup up in the zone. Another one. He was able to handle it. Cantu went the other way. Right center field gap. 1 hop the wall. And the speedster Adrian Gonzalez scores all the way from first base. This doesn't happen too often. Where's the oxygen? Give me the oxygen.
The happiest guy in the park, other than Cantu, is Arredondo. And maybe Renteria.
Yeah. And Gonzalez probably hoping that never happens again. I got to score all the way from first base. This is spring training. This isn't midseason.
It's the first inning of the World Baseball Classic.
They're doing CPR on him down there.
Kareem Garcia.
Former teammate?
Yeah, I was going to say one of your former teammates from your Yankees days. Kareem Garcia has been playing baseball for 20 years.
You know, he was, you talk about he was the first Diamondback right fielder when they came to the expansion league. Way back in what, 97?
98 was 98? The first year the Diamondbacks were in existence.
Yeah.
But he was a teenager when he started playing.
Oh, absolutely. He ended his last year in the major leagues was 04. He went a couple years in Japan and then the last 4 in Korea, which he absolutely loved.
Still has the ability to do damage with the bat.
He does. He's a big league veteran. He's been around a while. You can't, you know, you don't make any mistakes. He plays for Monterrey in the Mexican League every year. He still loves the game. And I mean, he's so excited. I was talking to him today, and he was excited about the pitching staff and what Mexico brings.
After that backstory, you're probably sitting there wondering, well, how old is he? Is he 47? Is he 48?
Yeah.
He's only 37.
Yeah. Okay. I'll be 21 next week.
Happy birthday.
Yeah, absolutely. No, great guy. You got to love it when guys want to, I mean, just keep playing. I mean, you know, don't take the thing away from me. I'm going to keep playing.
2 away.
Well, here we go. We talk about that circle change down and away to left-handed hitters, and a great pitch by Mariotti.
Edgar Gonzalez is next. He is, of course, the brother of Adrian Gonzalez and a former teammate of Adrian's with the Padres a few years back.
They don't look alike, do they?
No, not at all. He's a righty. Adrian's a lefty. Other than that, perhaps.
Maybe Edgar can run a little bit faster. This has got to be exciting. 2 brothers playing for their country.
And they're as proud as you can possibly be for playing for their country.
Yeah. Mariotti kind of settling in these last 2 guys, last 2 hitters, throwing strikes, getting ahead of them.
He got the call. But Jorge Cantu and Mexico storms back from 2 down. Mexico on top after 1, 3-2. Fun times here at Salt River Fields at Talking Stick. Italy and Mexico in the World Baseball Classic. And if you like offense, Jeff Nelson, you're in the right place.
Yeah, I think that first inning took about 2 hours. You know, you had bases loaded that Italy left in the first inning. You had a big rally from Mexico. And let's see how Rodrigo Lopez starts this second inning.
Anthony Granado is your leadoff hitter. in the second inning for the Italian team.
Maybe Jim Reynolds behind the plate says, you know what, I need to open this thing up. We might be here till midnight. Might be like 30-31. 31-30 to score.
We're a long way from talking about the mercy rule, so we won't even go there, but it is in effect in this tournament. I should also mention, this is a good time to talk about it, although it is absolutely perfect today weather-wise.
Yeah.
They're expecting ugliness tomorrow, and the game tomorrow has already been moved to Chase Field in Phoenix. In anticipation of some very bad weather, as Granato is out, they've moved the game to 2 o'clock Eastern time. It's hard to imagine when you look out right now. It's as beautiful as anything you've ever seen in this country.
And to have this stadium, the stadium is unbelievable. And it's almost a shame that it's going to come and rain us out, or move, or at least move us inside tomorrow.
Yeah, not going to rain us out because there's a roof over there.
Yeah.
But 2 o'clock Eastern, they've already made the decision to avoid all the people coming out and sitting here through rain delays, and that sky looks like a little bit of a challenge today.
Yeah, it is. And here in Arizona, you have the high sky. You know, the sun's directly in Gonzalez's eye. You see him right there with, he had his hand over his eyes to try to shade the ball a little bit. And it's tough here in Arizona. There's a lot of fly balls that guys misread, or if they put their head down, it's hard to pick the ball back up.
Is it a depth perception situation?
It is. You know, you have the no clouds. You know, and you see a lot of guys when they're putting their head down, especially the outfielders running toward the ball, then they'll suddenly look up again and they can't find it. And the next thing you know, they're looking into a bright sun and then lose it. We saw that the other day. You see that right now with the left fielder Gonzalez from Mexico having to shade his eyes.
This is Denorfia. He doubled in his first at bat. That fly ball, by the way, by Punto, was the first out that was not a strikeout. There were 4 strikeouts before that fly ball. So the fielders, they brought their mitts for a reason, and finally they're putting them to use.
Well, Rodrigo Lopez is kind of settling down a little bit. He did get a good strike call on Granato for the first out of the game, something that he didn't get in the first inning. He made his pitches in the first inning, got a little frustrated. I think that's why Illy got on a little roll there and scored a couple runs, but he got 2 quick outs here in the second. He's settling in. 48 pitches so far. Little sinker on the outside part of the plate. He's hitting the zones. You can see how Rodrigo Lopez is nice and easy out on the mound, nice and slow, driving that right shoulder, that left shoulder of the plate, actually.
That one snared by Gonzalez. Wow.
And that's why you win 3 Gold Gloves there, ladies and gentlemen.
Adrian Gonzalez flashing leather here, a talking stick, going to the bottom of the second. Lunchtime here in Scottsdale, Arizona.
I need some of that. I'm starving.
I think there's a difference between needing it and wanting it.
Well, both.
Good times here. Kids out and about on a beautiful day. Umpires for this game 1, a couple from the United States in Reynolds and Gorman. Michael Ulloa is from Spain, and Na Kwangnam is from Korea.
Very nice.
I appreciate that. Humberto Cota leads off. He's the catcher for Mexico, and the Mexican team came with 3 runs in the bottom of the first after falling behind 2-0.
Cota just signed with the Arizona Diamondbacks here back in November. Big guy. Saw him during batting practice. Had a lot of power. Mariotti had 28 pitches after the first inning and quickly falls behind here 2-0. He ended great. Struck out the last 2 guys, and Garcia and Gonzalez. It's all about getting ahead of guys. We have Del Silva down there in the bullpen still warming up. And we talked about this earlier, Matt, about how long will these managers, this might be one of the biggest things and biggest keys, of how long will they stay with their pitcher before they get the bullpen out.
And again, Team Mexico has the leadoff batter on.
Well, you get behind. Cota just out in front of the changeup and able to serve it into left field for a base hit, and the first runner here in the second inning for Mexico.
The Italian team well aware of the fact that Mariotti has been in trouble. They continue to warm.
That's De Silva out there.
Bill Holmberg, the pitching coach, told us ideally they get 3 out of their starter. Mariotti would really have to settle down to get that done, but they're going to piece things together with the pitch limit and based on game situation.
Well, I'd be very surprised here if Marco Mazzieri, for Italy, the manager, will let Mariotto get in trouble again. You start getting runners in first and second, this could be at any point his last hitter. We saw De Silva get up in the first inning, and now he's up and he's red hot again to get into the second inning. He's ready to come out of the jam. I don't think you want Mexico to get into another rally, especially with the pitching staff in the back end of that bullpen down there.
This is Gil Velasquez, the shortstop, the 9 hitter in an 0-2 hole with a man on first.
We haven't seen a breaking ball yet from Mariotti. He throws a fastball about 85, 88. A lot of change-ups. You figure you throw some kind of little wrinkle here into a right-handed hitter.
How tough is it to survive against a lineup like Mexico's without a third pitch that's effective?
Yeah, especially against right-handed hitters. You can get away with fastball changeup to lefties, and as long as you move the ball in and out, you don't have to throw hard. And he has a good changeup that goes down and away. You saw that against Karim Garcia, striking him out. But against a righty, you kind of want to stay away from throwing a changeup, because you have a right-handed hitter and a right-handed pitcher. You're not seeing any wrinkles. You're not seeing any breaking pitches at all. So you're going up there as a hitter saying, I'm looking for 2 speeds. Anything straight, I'm going to try to foul one off, and I'm going to stay on a fastball. Say, he's not going to get one of these things by me, and he's not shown any kind of breaking pitch. If he slipped in one, a curveball right here for a strike, it would definitely have Velasquez off of balance and maybe possibly taking it.
Fights that off there to the right side. Velasquez is kind of a tweener, right? Played at AAA last year, but he's been a part of the Mets organization, the Twins organization, Angel.
Multiple positions. You have to play him well, and you hope you hit a little bit, and that's one thing that he's done. That's why he's bounced around so many times.
He doesn't bite on that one, and now it's 3-2. This is a different Mariotti than we saw the other day when we watched him pitch against Oakland.
Well, the pitching coach Holmberg said he got to get ahead. He wasn't too happy with the way those guys didn't get ahead. Yeah, they didn't walk anybody in that exhibition game, but they weren't getting ahead, and we haven't seen that here either. And I would say this might be Mariotti's last hitter if he winds up walking Velasquez.
We're not even one time through the order for Mexico.
No, and that's the thing. You can't, you can't let Mexico get too far ahead. You can't get them into a rally. Already Mariotti is struggling out there, with nerves. He's trying to be too fine, and you just can't let him.
Oh, that is a huge play for this Italian team. A strike him out, throw him out, double play, and just like that, the bases are empty and there's 2 outs.
Well, he came back and he made his pitch. You have it looks like a changeup down in the zone to a right-handed hitter, and Cota is, not setting the world on fire for speed. He's probably, carrying a Mack truck with him and gets thrown out easily. So it's an easy strike him out, throw him out for Italy. Good throw by Butera.
So we turn it over now to Eduardo Arredondo, who started the game off bottom of the first with a walk. He eventually scored. Wouldn't that be huge for Italy if he could get through this without any further damage?
You get a break. If you're Mariotti, you get a break. You make a good pitch and you get a guy, a catcher, trying to steal a base, make things happen. Mexico, you got to hand it to him. They're staying aggressive. He gets thrown out at second. You got to get ahead. He falls behind quickly, 1-0, and now he comes back with a strike. You got to get this guy out.
Can a play like that give a pitcher confidence?
Absolutely, because you get the first guy on, you're already struggling, you look down in the bullpen and you're saying this could be my last hitter, and I would have said probably Velasquez is probably Mariota's last hitter, and he gets a break.
A little flare that's going to drop in for a base hit. It kicks away from Denorfia, and the speedy Arredondo is on second base.
Well, here we go. He makes a good pitch, and Arredondo just serves it into center field. I think Denorfia got caught in between whether to try to run and catch that, and I think Mariota probably thought he should have caught it. I think Denorfia probably should have caught it. He kind of got in between, and then he played it on a short hop, and it hit him right in the knee for a double.
Well, that's going to do it for Mariotti. They're making a pitching change. Man on second, 2 outs. John Mariotti's day is over after an inning and 2/3. Mexico still is up here in the bottom of the second. They make a pitching change. Thiago da Silva is the new pitcher. Small guy, 5'9", 180. He's a righty out of Brazil.
Yeah, he has a fastball, changeup, and he does have a curveball. His job is just to throw strikes, something Mariotti wasn't able to do. And we said it before that I think Marco Mazzieri was just waiting, playing it hitter by hitter. If somebody got on, then that was it, and we got to bring in the bullpen, and that's exactly what he did here.
Ramiro Pena has a chance to produce another run with the speedy Arredondo on second base. Pena doubled in his first at bat.
Immediately he tries to come inside, looking for that first pitch strike. Gutierrez sets up inside, just a little bit too far.
Nothing wrong with that, right?
No. I mean, you'd like to do it 0-2 and brush this guy back and maybe go away with an off-speed pitch, but not the first pitch. I like when they pitch inside. And that's got to be in Da Silva's mind as well. Here's a big league player in Ramiro Pena. Is, very experienced. Knows how to work the count. He's not a starter. He's a utility guy in the major leagues. And you see immediately Da Silva's kind of being very cautious with him.
Fly ball down into right field. It falls fair. Arredondo coasts in, and Pena has his second double of the game. 4-2 Mexico.
Well, the experience of a major league player. You leave anything out over the middle of the zone, no matter how fast it is. You get a 2-0 changeup right here by Da Silva, and Pena was able to stay with it. He was out in front, but he just got enough to be able to hit it down the right field line. And that's all about getting ahead. Anything out over the middle of the plate, these guys from Mexico are going to be able to handle. And they're able to adjust so far. We've seen in the first couple innings, Matt, between the fastball and the changeup from both Italy pitchers.
And that misplay by Denorfia in center field proves huge. That allowed Arredondo to take second base, and he scores easily on that double.
Well, it may be the way, the ball was hit that it kind of surprised Denorfia out there. Sometimes in center field you kind of get a bad jump, and he got caught in between. And you could have dove for that. He didn't dive for it. He let it bounce and it hit him in the knee, and then you got a runner in scoring position. And now you got the meat of the lineup for Mexico.
Yeah, Luis Cruz is already behind 0-2. There's Denorfia. I wonder if the speed of Arredondo made Denorfia take his eye off of that for a second to see if he was going for 2 out of the box.
Yeah, possibly, and also the skies and the way that Arredondo was able to hit that ball. He kind of, sometimes center fielders will get bad reads off the ball. I think it's hit harder than it was, and he just served it into center field, and I think Denorfia got a bad jump on the ball.
Matt Torra in the pen for Italy. They've already made a pitching change. They're not going to waste any time. They can ill afford to fall behind further than this. They don't have the type of offense that Mike Piazza and the Italian team believes has the ability to score in huge bunches.
And they know it's about pitching. They know they have to throw strikes and shut the other team down. and they don't have a lot of guys with swing and miss stuff. Not very many power arms down there for Italy. Well, I think we've seen a lot of nerves so far from Italy, especially the pitchers. You know, Del Silva getting behind early, Mariotti getting behind in the first couple innings.
He reaches out, ground ball to shortstop, and great play. What a play by Anthony Granato at shortstop to get Italy out of this inning. You saw Anthony Rizzo. You're going to see him again. He's due up first in the top of the third. A beautiful shot from a few thousand feet above Salt River Fields at Talking Stick. Anthony Granato in the dugout after making a wonderful play.
Man, that was an outstanding play. Another changeup, a ball that was hit in the hole. He gets it and makes a running throw. Anthony Rizzo over there doing what first basemen do best. Get off the bag as quick as possible so the umpire doesn't get a long look at that. And a nice play.
And here is Anthony Rizzo. First pitch swinging, ground ball to second. And there's one away. Later today, the 2013 World Baseball Classic continues as Venezuela takes on the Dominican Republic in the Pool C opener from San Juan, Puerto Rico. Then the second round gets underway in the Far East with a doubleheader at the Tokyo Dome. Cuba versus the Kingdom of the Netherlands, and Japan against Chinese Taipei. And don't forget, tomorrow for Game 2 in Pool D, Italy taking on Canada. We will be at Chase Field for that. The game has been moved at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. Check your local listings for the game and times in your area.
Matt, I think we've seen a different pitcher out here. Rodrigo Lopez, 10 pitches, 40 pitches in the first inning, 10 pitches in the second inning, and then quickly gets a first pitch ground out here in the third. And then he drills him.
Just when he got into a groove, that is the last thing he wants to do.
Well, he gets ahead with a first pitch fastball strike, and he wants to come inside. Keep Leedy honest. Ball just kept riding in and hit him on the elbow. Kind of don't want to see that if you're the Mariners. It's all right. You know, I like when guys throw inside anyway, and you know, you get ahead 0-1, you got to come inside to keep them honest. You don't want to have hitters keep dipping out over the plate, and it just rode in on him.
Christopher Colabello. Big time power. We saw him hit a home run the other day, Jeff. That ball, that had to have been over 400 feet.
Yeah, he got a fastball up in the zone, and he hit it over one of the signs there in left center field over there in Phoenix, where the A's have their spring training. That was a bomb.
Struck out his first time up. You talk about the link with a lot of these guys and their heritage. His father played for Team Italy in the 1970s. Can you imagine the thrill? Your dad plays for your country.
And now you. Now son.
A lot of stories like that.
Oh, it's awesome. I mean, these guys over here everywhere. I mean, they're proud to play for their country and represent here with Team Italy.
There's a ground ball to third. There's one. And just like that, Lopez is out of the third inning. Here comes Mexico, leading 4-2, going bottom three. Fans, be sure to visit worldbaseballclassic.com and bookmark it as your one-stop source for news, video highlights, and online shopping for authentic jerseys, caps, collectibles, and more. Shop 24 hours a day and gear up as you support your team by wearing the official colors of your country. worldbaseballclassic.com, accessible on your computer, tablet, or smartphone. Leading off the bottom of the third, Adrian Gonzalez. He walked his first at bat, scored a run, and scored all the way from first.
And he's still huffing and puffing from it.
Adrian Gonzalez is not only the face of this Mexican team as the star, but he has some serious pull, as we found out from the manager.
Exactly. Rich Renner Rich Renteria basically got a call from Adrian Gonzalez saying, hey, I would like you to manage the Team Mexico. I guess when you get asked from like that, you got to do it.
The player asking a coach to come manage.
Right. Usually the other way around. You get a call from Adrian Gonzalez, say, you got to manage our team, manage our country team. Watch your lips.
Adrian Gonzalez on base again. We're proud to have the MetLife blimp Snoopy 2 providing live coverage from 1,500 feet in the air. The MetLife blimp has provided a unique perspective for fans for over 25 years and is thrilled to be a part of the 2013 World Baseball Classic. I knew that was more than 15 feet.
Yeah. Have you ever rode one of those things?
I have never.
And I would never. They move too slow.
What an amazing shot in an amazing facility here at Salt River Field. The Diamondbacks train here. The Colorado Rockies train here.
I tell you what's a lot better. When I was in Arizona in spring training, we had to go all the way down to Tucson, about a 2.5 hour trip down there. Hour and a half, something, whatever it was long enough.
They made you ride the bus.
Well, luckily you're a veteran, so you know we would go down there, and when I was with Seattle, you would go for 3 days. And we wouldn't have to. The young guys, you know, the young utility guys, they would have to go down for 3 days. And now, you know, with the major league rules in spring training, I think you have to have, what, 4 major league guys go down or playing a game as far as for the fans. We would go down for, I'd go down for 1 day. And you know, you go pitch, and then you hop on the bus and have a few Diet Cokes on the way back, and then you see your Tucson trip.
So not as glamorous as many make it out to be.
No, the long bus, but that's it, because here in Arizona, the spring training facilities are so, you know, so close. And now with Arizona, you know, the White Sox are up here, the Rockies are up here. The 3 teams that are in Tucson, they're all up here. It makes it really easy.
We're about 25 minutes outside of Phoenix in the suburb of Scottsdale, which is just beautiful. Cantu's gone, so there's 1 away.
And the difference is you have Florida spring training, where, you know, the big part of it is batting practice. When you're in Florida, you got to come to the yard around 8 in the morning. You get on the bus, you go to wherever you're going, and it's almost like the regular season. You're taking batting practice in the opposing team's parks. Here in Arizona, you do all your team drills, you take batting practice at your own facility, you hop on the bus about 11:30, 11:45. Heck, you're there in a half hour, and you're getting ready for the game.
Kareem Garcia, second at bat of the game. He struck out swinging in his first at bat.
He doesn't get cheated.
No, he doesn't. He's maximized his career.
Yeah, exactly. If it's anything out over the plate, he doesn't care what the speed is. He's swinging.
He just loves to play, doesn't he?
He does. He does. Well, 2 years in Japan, 4 in Korea, playing in the summer leagues in Mexico. I don't think there's a pitch that he doesn't like.
But he's a good guy to have on a national team, because the young guys can learn a lot from a guy like Kareem Garcia.
Yeah. Well, when you got a guy that's been in the big leagues for a while, I mean, anybody that's played in the major leagues, you're going to learn something from. And you know, just a desire to play the game, and you know, he's proud for his country. He loves this. You know, he played in the last couple. You know, I think this is his 3rd World Baseball Classic as well, so he loves this stuff.
Italy had a 2-0 lead in this game, but it disappeared very fast in the bottom of the first. Then Rodrigo Lopez settled in, and it's 4-2 in the bottom of the third. Pool D, first game in the 2013 Classic played in the U.S. Chopper to second base. 1, 2, inning over. Here comes Italy, trailing by 2. We're back to Salt River Fields at Talking Stick. Team Mexico, the 2013 Caribbean Series champions. They love their baseball, and they are here to support this club. They want more, Jeff Nelson. They don't want to stop with the Caribbean Series.
Oh, absolutely not. And you got to love it. You're sitting there with the Coronas, the Contes, the Dos Equis, they're rooting for their team, proud about their country. and they want to get past the second round. They want to prove that they're the best team here in Pool D.
Well, they have a new pitcher on the mound, Alfredo Aceves. You know him from the Boston Red Sox. Rodrigo Lopez's day is done, and Aceves now takes over with a 2-run lead.
Yeah, 30 years old. You know, he did a great job for the Red Sox last year for a little bit. You know, he had 25 saves in 2012. Here's a swing guy. What I'm saying is, you know, he could start for you. He started for New York a couple years ago. Did an outstanding job out of the bullpen for the Yankees. You know, and also in the rotation, he can fill a 5th hole, a 4th hole if a starter gets in trouble, and he also can close the ball game. This is exactly what Mexico wants. Rodrigo Lopez did an outstanding job, by the way. I mean, he had a rough first inning, but really settled down in the second and the third. You would think, okay, after the first inning, that was probably all he was going to give you. He gave him 3 innings, and now you get to Aceves. This is exact plan that the manager Rich Renteria wants.
When you have a guy like Aceves, Mike Costanzo leading off, by the way. When you have a guy like Aceves, who's fairly early in spring training right now, what do you look for? What can you expect at this point in March?
Well, you wouldn't think that their breaking stuff or their off speeds is sharp, because, you know, when a guy gets ready for a regular season, you know, he knows he's a veteran player. Aceves is a veteran guy. He's going to say, okay, I got to get ready for April 1st. I'm going to get 10. If I'm going to start, or if I'm going to relieve, if I'm a reliever, I'm going to see 10 innings. My breaking stuff will wind up being better as spring goes along. And you're asking guys now in the beginning of March to be sharp. I mean, he throws a split finger fastball, which we just saw right there. He'll throw a sinker. He gets it up into low 90s, low to mid 90s. And right there, a nice high fastball. He throws 4 or 5 pitches, curveball, sliders, split, and a fastball, and he can spot his pitches. He gets quickly ahead of Costanzo, and then he climbs the ladder with a 90-mile-an-hour fastball. And here's a guy in Costanzo with an uppercut swing anyway, and anything up in the zone, he's going to have a hard time handling. And you know what? He had a hard time handling that high fastball from Aceves.
Significant difference in velocity, yes, from Lopez? A few miles an hour?
Well, I mean,
enough?
You're talking a guy hit, what did Lopez hit? About 86, 87, and all of a sudden now Aceves is coming in throwing 90, 91. And this isn't even his top speed. And there's another thing. You're talking about breaking stuff that develops all through spring training. You got it ready. In Arizona, it's tough to throw a breaking ball anyway because of light air. You get to wherever you're going during the major league season, you're going to see a totally different breaking pitch. And then also arm speed, arm strength. You got a guy throwing 90 miles an hour. Aceves said by the end of spring and April is probably going to throw about 94, 95, what he's used to.
Chiarini's on base. And Italy has a base runner in the top of the 4th inning. He's been on base twice now today.
Well, it's a nice fastball right down the middle of the plate. 93 miles an hour. He's able to hit it in the hole.
Here's Butera. He had a chance to really do some damage in his first at bat, but struck out. Butera is definitely known more for defense and game calling than his stick.
Yeah, and that's what you want. I mean, I think all organizations, very few, Mike Piazza, the hitting instructor for the Team Italy. I mean, this guy has almost 500 home runs. Very rarely do you see a catcher be able to hit. You want him to be able to handle a staff. And that's one of the things that the Twins want Butera to do, is be able to handle a young, inexperienced pitching staff that the Twins are going to throw at you this year.
Mike Piazza is not only a coach on this team, but he really is a face of Italian baseball. He played for them. Piazza played for them in 06. He coached for them in 09. He's back now, and he's a spokesperson in a sense.
There's Mike. Yeah, absolutely. You know, I played against him with the Mets, and you know, the rivalry there, you kind of hate each other, but talking to him, he's a great guy, and he wants to see, you know, Italy produce more as far as, you know, talent. You have 6 or 7 born Italian players coming over here that are playing in the minor leagues. You have Alex Leedy, who was the first one to play in the major leagues, and he would love to see, you know, Major League Baseball to get over there and develop more talent. You know, build some camps, you know, get him a couple fields and build him some dorms over there, spend some money over there. You know, the manager Mazzieri, you know, he played 20 years over there, and he saw the ups and downs, and now it's going through a kind of a down period over there in the Italian Baseball League. And Mike Piazza would like to see the same thing. I mean, you won 2 European championships. You know, you win again in 2009 against Canada. I mean, there's some talent over there in Europe, and especially in Italy.
Piazza talked about the lack of games that they play in Italy. They don't play enough in volume to really develop players, and that's something that probably needs to change.
Well, I mean, you see, in the Dominican Republic, they have major league camps.
Butera gives it a ride all the way back and gone. Tie game. How about that?
Here we talked about a team with not a lot of power. What happens? Your 8-hole guy goes deep to tie it up. Aceves gets ahead of him 1-2 and just made a huge mistake. I talked earlier about guys and pitchers breaking stuff not as sharp early, and you're asking these guys to snap off some hammers, and it just doesn't happen that early. And especially here, we see a 1-2 breaking ball. It just gets over the middle of the plate and up, and Butera is able to handle it, get a nice backspin, hit it over the MetLife. There we go. We get a little advertisement there.
Drew Butera. Just as I'm talking about how he's known for his glove and not his bat.
Yeah, he heard you. He heard you.
We have a tie game here in the top of the 4th. They promised they wouldn't be walked on, and they're putting up a great fight here today.
Well, you look at this 1-2, a ball just out over the middle of the plate, and like I said, this area you're not going to throw sharp breaking pitches, and he hits it in the left foot in center field. You see how fired up he is. Here Matt saying he's not an offensive player, he's a defensive player, and what's he do? It's a 2-run home.
If you say it any louder, we may get a knock on the door here in a second. That's only the 2nd home run for Italy in WBC play. They've been in 3 of them. This is their 3rd, only the 2nd home run.
Well, he gets a breaking ball up out over the middle of the zone and gets ahead of him. Aceves makes a mistake, and Butera put good wood on it, but overall they don't have a lot of power, and they need the guys to get on. That's not going to happen very often.
Granato to center field, and that drops in. So they turn the lineup over. 7, 8, and 9 all get on. 2 runs in, and now they flip it over to the leadoff man.
Well, Rodrigo Lopez had a rough inning in his first inning, giving up a couple runs on 4 hits, and Alfredo Aceves quickly gets a strikeout on Costanzo and then gets in trouble here in his first inning.
Nick Punto is the batter. He played with Aceves in Boston before being traded to Los Angeles. He was part of that deal that sent Adrian Gonzalez and Josh Beckett and Carl Crawford to Los Angeles. So these guys know each other.
Yeah, it's got to be tough facing your old teammates. I mean, when Italy plays the United States and you have Grilli coming in and you got to face Ryan Braun. I mean, that's the tough part when you're facing guys, well, especially on your own team. I mean, you want to pitch inside, you want to establish things, and then all of a sudden, oh, if I hit Ryan Braun, our season could be in trouble.
Runner on the move. So they advance the runner, a productive out as they started the runner. Granato, Punto's gone, and it's 2 away.
Well, it looked like a hit and run. Mazzieri trying to make things happen for Team Italy, get some runners, more runners in scoring position, and Punto was just able to get enough of it and turn it over in the second base hole and move the runner over, but he got the 2nd out. I'm eventually getting slowly the manager of Italy's name right. I think I've said it about 4 or 5 different ways.
Mazzieri, who by the way pointed out to us.
Very nice guy. I'm set up over there, by the way, when I go over to Italy.
You are?
Oh yeah, the pitching, the pitching coach, I'm good. I'm good. They gave me their car, said anytime. They'll show me the back streets of Italy.
He pointed out to us that when he watched American baseball back in the 80s, when he was a young man, he mentioned your name.
Oh, we're not that far apart. He said, "Oh, I used to watch you when you growing up." And obviously, probably everywhere in Europe, you're Yankee fans. You're going to see more Yankee stuff anywhere. And he's only a couple years younger than me. He looks older though. And he said, "I watched you growing up." Come on.
He did. He mentioned Don Mattingly.
I said, appreciate it.
He mentioned you. His baseball history goes back to the early 70s when he was a little kid.
Well, I was a little kid then too.
And Italy's gone, but Drew Butera gets it done with a 2-run bomb. We're all tied up 4-4 at Talking Stick. Team Italy putting up a whale of a fight. 4-4 game right now. They said they'd play these games, every single one of them, like it was Game 7 of the World Series.
Well, exactly. Well, that's what it is this playoff baseball atmosphere. You know, there is, you know, even though you have a 3-game series, I mean, you play 3 games, you're going to play each team, and the best records, the 2 best teams with the best record move on to the second round. And we talked about them in the open. Don't take them for light. Don't take them for granted. Don't take them lightly. I don't think Mexico is, but you see the fire and the passion that Italy has.
There's an urgency for sure in this tournament. Edgar Gonzalez struck out looking his first at bat. Here he is in the 4th in a tie game.
And Italy surprises Seves. He gives up a 2-run bomb to Butera. Now for Da Silva, he has to go in. He has to throw strikes. See if you can get a 1-2-3 inning and get your guys back into the dugout hitting.
There's a quick out.
See, Da Silva drops down a little bit to right-handed hitters. Look like either a split or a circle change. Good pitch.
Umberto Cota is the catcher, the 8th hitter. Big guy. Big, thick catcher. You mentioned earlier he signed with Arizona.
Yeah.
And he's catching guys with major league experience now. That's got to help someone who's trying to make his mark with a major league team.
Oh, absolutely. And you want to see how he handles the staff, how he moves on the plate. I mean, every pitcher's different. And it's tough here. I mean, you're catching guys like Gallardo, Estrada. You have Mendoza, Seves, Lopez. You're catching guys you've never caught before, and that's the toughest part as a catcher, to learn the rhythm. Get these guys into early rhythm so you're not shaking off, getting into patterns. A lot of pitchers will want you to move on the plate a little bit more. So this is tough. I mean, it's good to see that he signed a contract with Arizona, and now he's going to be able to get a chance to be a part of that team.
Montero, of course, the main catcher for the Arizona team. This is where they train. People are D-backs crazy in this area.
They are. So yesterday we were out here checking out the booth, and they had a good crowd on when the D-backs were playing the Royals.
Why not? This place is as good as it gets. They thought of everything.
Ever Magallanes, one of the coaches from Mexico. I played against this guy way back in the late 80s in AA when he was with the Indians and I was with the Mariners. He was telling me about the minor league locker room. He said they have 2 big screen TVs. They have leather chairs, and these lockers are huge. And each like minor league system has its own little locker room. I mean, not little, but you know, state of the art locker room.
So what you're saying is the gap is closing in certain facilities?
I mean, before the minor leagues, where you had a little wooden stool and you had to clean your own shoes, now you have these big lockers, TVs, leather seats, leather couches. What you know, is there any
Sign
kind
me
of,
up.
yeah. There's not. They're already getting fluffed at an early age.
Gil Velasquez with a fly ball, and that's it. Quick work. Mexico's gone in the 4th. You are at talking stick. Make no mistake, this is Arizona. Fun in the sun at talking stick. Mexico and Italy, the Pool D opener, and later today the 2013 World Baseball Classic continues. Venezuela takes on the Dominican Republic in the Pool C opener from San Juan, Puerto Rico, 6:30 p.m. Eastern time. Then tomorrow from Chase Field, it's Game 2 in Pool D. The venue has been switched because of a threat of rain. Italy taking on Team Canada at 2 o'clock Eastern time. Check your local listings for the game times in your area. It's Anthony Rizzo. Anthony Rizzo, we highlighted Rizzo in the open of this game. He has all the potential in the world as a member of the Cubs, and certainly they're proud of him as a member of Team Italy.
And he was excited talking to him a couple days ago about playing for his country and, you know, getting a chance to come here, play with some guys. And he was talking about the language barrier, that he wants to, you know, speak a little bit better or learn the language of Italian. I mean, it's tough. You have a team that plays together in an Italian baseball league, and then you have Americans that are coming or coming over and from the big leagues or the minor leagues and coming and joining these guys, and it's good. It's good to see Anthony Rizzo, how he interacts. A lot of the guys look up to him. Also, Alex Leedy here.
Alex Leedy, I mean, he should be the poster guy for the Italian baseball program, making it all the way out of the program. He was there as a kid, worked his way all the way up in Italy, came over and debuted a few years ago in Major League Baseball. And, you know, we're talking about it as if that is the ultimate goal. It may not be for every Italian player.
Right.
Some guys are very happy to play for the Italian league. But when you're talking about the level of play, this is certainly in the United States,
I'm sure,
a higher level.
I'm sure they're happy playing over there. I mean, I would be. I mean, wouldn't you want to go over there and play a summer? But this is what Mike Piazza was talking about. There's talent over in Italy, and we see a perfect example of right here on Alex Leedy.
Leedy with his second hit of the game. He's on. He's been on 3 times now. Reaching out and poking this one to right.
Well, he got a base hit in the first inning, and here's a fastball on the outside part of the plate. He stays with it and punches it into right field for a base hit. Good piece of hitting by Alex Leedy. And this is what Mike Piazza was talking about. He says, you know what, if we had more, I guess, more development over there, we could find more players like Alex Leedy.
You know, they say they're teaching athletes as well as baseball players, so they have to teach guys some athleticism and then baseball. That's also part of the challenge, right? Because they admit they're not getting.
It's hard to teach instincts. You get a lot of guys that love the sport, but it's hard to teach instincts. And very, you know, when you're growing up basically, in a soccer nation, they love soccer over there. And, you know, baseball was probably a secondary sport. And, you know, not a lot of people have a lot of great baseball instincts.
Does that come over time with repetition?
Well, I mean, it isn't, you know, practice makes perfect. It's perfect practice. It makes perfect. It's, you know, that's just developing these young kids at a young age and being able to watch them develop. And you can teach, if you get them young, I mean, you can pretty much teach them anything. I mean, you'll find good athletes. And over there, once you start spending more time with them, they don't play a lot of games. What was Mazzieri saying about 42 games in the summer?
Colabello keeps the line moving. Leedy goes to third, and Italy has something cooking again here in the 5th.
Well, that's great heads-up play by Alex Leedy, going from first to third with a base hit up the middle. Another fastball just out of the middle of the zone and hits it right back up the box for a base hit.
Mike Costanzo steps in now with a couple of guys on. Costanzo, mentioned it earlier, it's worth doing it again. High pick by the Phillies. Moved on in a number of trades and has had trouble breaking through to the major league level. He's an outfielder now, but played third base a number of years ago.
Well, we saw the arm that he has probably from being a third baseman out in left field. He's got a great arm. You know, I think it's just as his bat. You know, you look at his swing. It's a loopy swing. For me, watching him, I think he would have a hard time handling the fastball up. Anything down, especially soft, he'll be able to handle. He struck out there, in the 4th inning on a high fastball, and something that he's going to have a hard time handling. I think that's the biggest adjustment. He had a hard time handling the high pitch.
Relax.
A base hit and an RBI in the 1st inning. Some location and Lopez missed on a fastball inside.
That one's foul. Every player on the Italian team has a hit today, except for Nick Punto.
Yeah, and you look at Costanzo's reaction right there. He probably missed the best pitch that he's going to see. He got a fastball that Aceves missed the location. He's kicking himself for missing it.
Great opportunity here to get a run in, even with an out. Deep fly ball will do it. 0-2 pitch here.
And he misses a fastball, and then he gets a changeup right there on the outside part of the plate. You can see his reaction. Good off-speed pitch by Aceves on the outside part, just down and away. Too tough for Costanzo to handle, and he's kicking himself after getting that fastball, missing it.
So Mario Chiarini is now going to need a hit to get this run in, or an error, or a walk extends the inning. We're getting toward the bottom of the order for the Italian team, and they have been very productive today.
And also, yeah, first and third with one out. Costanzo wants to be, at least drive the runner in from third.
Chiarini scored a run. He's been on base twice. He's walked, he's singled. And there's more action in the Mexican pen. Give this team a lot of credit, this Italian team. They're making the Mexican pitchers work, and we highlighted the Mexican pitching staff early as one of the strengths of this team, but they're really being tested here.
Well, they are. After the first couple of hitters, Punto and Denorfia, I thought, okay, maybe they'd be a little bit more aggressive, and with not a lot of power. You see a fastball they're going to hack. They have worked the count very well. 40 pitches in the first inning from Lopez, and here they've gotten Aceves on the ropes in both his first two innings.
Oscar Villarreal is the pitcher warming up, the right-hander in the Mexican pen.
And here again, you don't want to let your starter or any pitcher out there, rot. It's all about wins and getting runs. Aceves has struggled over his first two innings.
Playing in Arizona in general this time of year, I would think it would favor hitters based on the thin air.
Yeah, a little bit, because like I said, the breaking stuff is not that sharp. Right here, you have Aceves who's probably got Chiarini set up for a breaking ball. He's gone inside 2 times in a row. You could double up again for the third time and try to get him looking away. He threw a fastball inside that he was able to handle and foul off. But I think right here, you got him set up for a nice breaking ball and a swing and a miss, or you could come back inside.
After Chiarini is Butera. And Butera delivered the big blow earlier, a 2-run home run out of the 8-hole. So it's no cakewalk at the bottom today either.
No, not at all. And here's something that I wish you just concentrate on the hitter and not the runners.
Shot to short, inning over. Aceves gets out of it. 4-4 here at Salt River Fields. Salt River Fields, a talking stick. We're in the bottom of the 5th inning right now in a 4-4 game. Italy and Mexico. Eduardo Arredondo is your leadoff hitter. He's had a great day. Scored a couple of runs already.
He has. He's been on base twice, like you mentioned. Walked in the first, got a double in the second.
And he's on base again with a leadoff single.
He's a good contact hitter. He serves the ball into left field. Here you get a fastball just down in the middle. He pulls his hands in and hits it right back up the middle for a base hit. Alex Gonzalez, Adrian Gonzalez was telling me, I was asking him, and I didn't understand, why wouldn't these guys be able to play in the big leagues, and the owners in the Mexican League basically have all the rights and won't let him go. And here's a guy in Arredondo that could be a 4th, 5th outfielder for some teams. He's got great speed, plays good defense, and we just seen right here he's been on base all 3 times.
He can really disrupt a game with his legs for sure.
Oh, absolutely. He put, as a pitcher, when you have De Silva, who's actually done a really nice job for Italy, next thing you know, you're pitching out of the stretch. I didn't see him hold runners on too well a couple days ago. And for Mexico, they need to get things started. And you have a leadoff hitter. Let's see if he can steal a base. You have Pena, who's a good contact hitter. Good number 2.
Pena's had a nice day himself with a couple of doubles.
He has. You might see a little hit and run here.
He lays down the sacrifice bunt to perfection. And there's a runner in scoring position. We'd like to thank MetLife's blimp, Snoopy 2, and its all-star team of pilots, mechanical engineers, and ground crew that make today's spectacular aerial coverage of the 2013 World Baseball Classic possible. Amazing shots from high above the Phoenix area. We're in Scottsdale, Arizona on a perfect day. It is hard to fathom that tomorrow's game has already been moved because of the threat of rain.
I know. And you need to see the shot of all the practice fields between the Diamondbacks and the Rockies for some of their minor league systems. I mean, this is a great complex.
Here's Luis Cruz.
Well, Matt, we're getting into part of the game that, you know, Team Mexico, they have such a great bullpen, and that's one of the reasons why I think Pena sacrificed Arredondo over to second base, because you're looking at the meat of the lineup in Cruz and then Adrian Gonzalez coming up. You score a couple runs here, they have a lot of confidence in that Mexican bullpen that actually, you know what, Italy may not score again. And we're talking about late in the innings. Aceves is going to probably see another inning at most, and then you're getting into the Salas. And you know, and also Romo down there in the 9th inning. They just need a couple here. You get a guy on, get a runner in scoring position, let Cruz or Gonzalez knock him in.
Rick Renteria, the manager of the Mexican team, he likes his guys. He likes his lineup. And he also likes the fact, we talked to him the other day, he likes the fact that people are spending a lot of time talking about the U.S. team. They're talking about the Canadian team with the MVPs and Votto and Morneau. He likes that his team has not gotten, at least locally, doesn't feel as much attention. To center field, and it finds some space, goes all the way to the wall, and Mexico is back on top.
Well, what we're talking about, you get the leadoff hitter on, and then you have the meat of your lineup, Cruz, who had a very good year with the Dodgers last year, and now you have Adrian Gonzalez. With that bullpen that Mexico has, you look right here, a fastball that's up in the zone. Cruz did an outstanding job with staying with it and going the other way, shooting the right center field gap. Off that wall, you see Arredondo right there, didn't know if it was going to be caught or not, and scores easily.
This inning so far has worked to perfection for the Mexican team. Couple of relievers warming up for Italy right now. William Holmberg, Bill Holmberg, the pitching coach, out to the mound trying to determine what they're going to do next.
Well, you have first base open. If you're not going to bring in a reliever to face, or a lefty to face Adrian Gonzalez, you wasted 7 pitches, and when he walked in the first inning, you might as well not do the same thing. If you're going to try to pitch around him, Adrian Gonzalez is one of the best hitters in baseball. You make a mistake, he's going to make you pay. He's got great opposite field power. He'll shoot you to left field. He'll shoot you into the gaps to right. You might as well put him on.
There is a lefty in the pen, so you would think here, just thinking along, if they were going to pitch to him, and there they go. They signal for the intentional walk. That makes sense.
Oh, absolutely. You know, I know everybody, the fans are going crazy. They don't like it. They want to see Adrian Gonzalez hit. You hear the boo birds here. They're coming out. But this is smart play. You have first base open. You got one of the best hitters in baseball. There's no sense of making a mistake, and next thing you know, you're down by 2, and you're getting into the Mexican bullpen. Team Mexico's bullpen.
So after this walk is complete, we'll have first and second with 1 out. Still in the middle of this Mexican order. And De Silva is in no way out of trouble. Marco Mazzieri knows it. And Jorge Cantu is coming to the plate. He did major damage early in this game, Jeff.
Well, he gets a fastball out over the middle of the plate with the bases loaded and cleared him with a double in the right center field gap. This is his time to shine. He wants a big league job. He wants to get invited to camp and show them that he can still show major league teams that he can still hit like this. Here's another situation. First and second, runners in scoring position.
And in the history of the WBC, he's one of the best when it comes to driving in runs. He's a machine.
He is. You know, he's got power. He's very smart up there. You know, he's not a great breaking ball hitter, but he'll hit a fastball.
Not only is he playing for his team, Mexico, but it's a nice audition as well. Hey, I can still
for
play.
A job. Exactly.
I'm only 31.
And here's another chance. You're in a hitter's countdown. You know, ahead 2-0.
And this is exactly what we were talking about a moment ago. 17 RBIs in the WBC, and this is game 1 of the 3rd WBC. There's a lot of time left here.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, he's got 2 runners on. He has a chance to tie that record here if he gets a fastball to hit.
Little flare that goes foul. 2 relievers in the pen for Italy. De Silva's working. And there they are. You have a lefty and a righty, Panarati and Toro.
Well, now De Silva got himself right back into a pitcher's count, 2-2. You might want to see him drop down here, a little breaking ball, and see if he can get Cantu off balance. Stays with the fastball.
That to me looks like a very comfortable swing.
It is. You know, you're looking for a fastball, and like you mentioned, he's working for a job. I mean, he's playing for a job. De Silva almost, you know, you got away with one right there.
Big spot in this game. Bottom 5. Mexico has retaken the lead, and he gets a dangerous hitter swinging.
Well, that's what I thought De Silva was going to do on the 2-2 pitch. You get behind 2-0, and then you quickly get yourself back in the count to a guy that is a dead red hitter. And here you go. You come back, you get away with one. You drop down with a nice splitter, a sidearm splitter for strike 3. About 78 miles an hour, and gets Cantu off balance. That's what I thought he was going to do with the 2-2 pitch instead of throwing that fastball upstairs. You got away with one, and then you were able to come back and get him for strike 3 and quickly get 2 outs and get out of this jam with maybe, you know, just 1 run.
Karim Garcia can extend the inning. First pitch swinging.
I think Garcia swings right. I mean, he's swinging right when he's on the on-deck circle. He comes, he's swinging the whole way, though, every single step up to the plate. Well, that's been him his whole entire career.
Well, if that's the case, why give him anything to hit?
Well, I mean, you know, they say, okay, bad ball hitters. I mean, you know, he'll hit one that's on the dirt. He'll hit one above his head. I mean, when you got guys that are swinging all the time, you know, it's almost like, okay, they're getting themselves out.
The bottom of the Mexican order today has had a little trouble so far. The top has really carried the load.
Yeah.
The bottom 4, starting with Garcia on down to Velasquez, 1 for 8 with 5 strikeouts. And Garcia went down swinging in the first.
Yeah, and it's De Silva, you just have to make your pitch. You know, you got a guy that's hacking at everything, swinging at everything, whether it's a ball up, down, whatever, and you got to hope that you make a good enough pitch that you get yourself, have Garcia get himself out. I think that might have been the first one that Garcia is actually taking in 3 at bats. And if you make a mistake, Karim Garcia is going to hurt you.
He had a huge home run in the Caribbean Series final. A tremendous game a few months ago. He had a big.
Well, in 09, what he had like 3 home runs in the 09 WBC. Yeah, 2009, he hit .421, had 3 home runs and drove in 5.
Having played on the biggest stage internationally and also in Major League Baseball, this is nothing, right?
No, but it's still, I mean, you're playing for your country, you're playing to advance. I mean, you want to go out and say, hey, you know what? Mexico has the best baseball. They have a lot of pride in their country. And this only happens, what, every 3 years, 4 years?
every 4 years is the WBC, and that one just goes out of play. Whoa. Alex Leedy goes into the stands chasing that foul ball.
Well, just like Adrian Gonzalez over there on the first base side, there's no tarp over there to help out Alex Leedy. And you look at that wall. It basically cuts you off at the knees. You see how high that is. It's about knee high. Alex Leedy goes over there. He looks at the wall once, looks at it again, and then he's trying to make that catch, and he can't stop. Luckily, he fell into an aisle instead of that seat. Maybe use that lady right there as a little cushion.
Very lucky. A lot of times you'll see guys use their hip to break their speed, but there his hip was above the wall.
Right. Most major league stadiums, you know, you're getting a feel again for the fans in spring training. Most major league stadiums have at least, what, a 4-foot wall over there?
Well, De Silva gets through it. Leedy gets through it as well. We have ourselves a 5-4 game. Later today, the 2013 World Baseball Classic continues as Venezuela takes on the Dominican Republic in the Pool C opener from San Juan, Puerto Rico. Then the second round gets underway in the Far East with a doubleheader at the Tokyo Dome. Cuba versus the Kingdom of the Netherlands, and Japan against Chinese Taipei. And then we're back tomorrow in the Phoenix bracket. The game here has been moved to Chase Field between Canada and Italy. There is a serious threat of bad weather, and they're getting ahead of it by moving it about 15 or 20 miles away. Drew Butera came up big with a 2-run home run his last at bat, and here he is leading off in the top of the 6th. His father played Major League Baseball. Sal was a catcher way back.
Exactly. He's been proud of his son. Gets a hanger and he banged it in left field. We had some fans there for a while that had some blue hair. Little getting into the Italian spirit.
Funny that you should mention blue
Yeah.
as the color for Team Italy.
Yeah.
Because it's not in the
There
flag.
we go, right there. How about that? You're doing that tomorrow. Match the shirts we're wearing.
Butera, one away. So the color blue is not really a part of the the Italian flag, rather.
Mexico, no.
No, exactly. But the Italian flag doesn't include blue. However,
tell us, Matt.
Well, listen, I'm going to act like I knew this. But to tell you the truth, I was told this. This is great stuff. Back in the 1930s, the king at the time used the color blue. That was his thing. And the World Cup soccer team, football, excuse me, won 2 World Cups in the 1930s. And blue has been a part of the color scheme in uniform ever since. Did I sell it like my own?
You did. That was outstanding. And see, the lady with blue hair teed you up. Teed you up for that story.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I worked on all of my ad libs, including that story. Granado is gone, 2 away.
Well, Aceves settling down a little bit here in his 3rd inning of work. Gets the first 2 guys out quick after struggling his first 2 in the 4th and the 5th.
To be able to get this length out of Aceves, given his issues here and there, that's a big boost for this Mexican team.
Well, it is, but you know what? He's going to go back to his team for the Red Sox, and he's not going to be pitching in setup relief. He's going to wind up being a long guy. You know, maybe even spot start. He could even get the 5th job. Who knows? He could be in line for that. So, you know, the Red Sox, I'm sure, are looking for some length as well. You know, get him up to that 65 pitches, and you know that's what he's going to go back to doing. Last year he closed. He pitched set up. He pitched long relief. You know, he can do all. He was outstanding a few years ago doing the exact same thing for the Yankees.
Nick Punto. Hitless today. He's the only starter for Italy without a hit. Saw him earlier today. He's a confident guy to begin with.
Yes.
But he looked at me and he said, we're going to be fine. And he knows winners. He played on a World Series champion a few years ago.
Well, absolutely. And now he's with the Dodgers, another great team. And you know, usually you would get some of these guys that played in the big leagues before saying they would give you an honest answer, say, you know what, let's see what happens. And for him to come out and say we're going to surprise some people, has this not been a surprise? You know,
absolutely.
You know, as much as the Italian pitching has struggled as far as Mariotti in the first couple innings, you know, their offense has been outstanding. Their pitching has settled down. And for Team Mexico, a team that has a lot of power and a lot of big league hitters, a lot of guys that can knock the ball around the park, they've done a great job pitching wise.
Long way to go. It's only the top of the 6th. Junto stays alive.
I'm waiting for a ball to come back in the booth. I want to see the reaction.
That's what you're waiting for.
Yeah.
Like a cat, so fast you won't believe it. Italy goes in order. We're going bottom 6 here at Salt River Fields, and there's the Salt River. 5-4, going bottom 6. Pool D is underway, and it has been fun here at Salt River Fields. A lot of offense early, and things have settled down a bit. It's 5-4 Mexico. Drew Butera with a huge home run for the Italian side, and Jorge Cantu, big hit for the Mexicans.
It's been a great game. You know, I don't want to say a little bit surprising, but you know what a great game. Italy's pitching has come in, and besides that first inning, has really settled down and held Mexico. And the offense, something that we didn't expect from Italy. They score 4 runs and a big home run by Butera.
Edgar Gonzalez jumps on a pitch from the new pitcher, Matt Torra. And Mexico has their leadoff man on.
Matt Torra, out of the Washington Nationals organization, was in AAA last year, the Durham Bulls. He was 12-7 with a 4.1 ERA.
So he's greeted rudely by Edgar Gonzalez, Adrian's brother. And we're down to the 8-hitter now, Umberto Cota, the catcher.
Well, if you're Italy, all you wanted to do is get outs. You know you got a good bullpen there for Team Mexico. Not have any more damage done. Keep it a 5-4 ball game and see what your offense can do.
This is Torra's first WBC. He's not an established major league pitcher. You would think butterflies would be one of the factors here. Cota gets down a nice bunt. Torra's on it, but the runner moves up.
Well, absolutely, exactly what they did in the 4th or the 5th inning rather. You had a sacrifice bunt by Ramiro Pena. You get the first runner on in Edgar Gonzalez, and that's exactly what Team Mexico does in Renteria. Cota sacrifices him over and him into scoring position.
Proud of himself.
Absolutely.
With good reason.
Well, again, we're coming down in the time of the game where you're getting into the Team Mexico's bullpen. Aceves did an outstanding job. You know, he struggled a little bit in the 3 innings that he's thrown. Looks like Villarreal may be coming in to pitch the 7th inning for Team Mexico, but that's their strength, their bullpen. You're going to see Salas, you're going to see Romo at the back end. You just need a couple runs, need a couple, you know, get some cushion to your strength, and that's your bullpen if you're Team Mexico.
Velasquez to the right side does get the runner over, but now there's 2 away.
There you have Villarreal out there warming up. He's probably going to go in and pitch the 7th inning and just sets it up nicely for possibly Salas in the 8th and then Romo in the 9th.
That's exactly what you talked about early in this game, and how if you have the lead and you're the Mexican team.
Well, it's a 6-inning game.
And you're talking about established major leaguers in the pen.
You do, and they've closed before. That's the thing. when you have guys that have closed before in the big leagues. Salas 24 saves back in 2011 for the Cardinals. Romo last year for what he did with the Giants. Even Aceves, I mean, I know he's probably going to maybe get a chance to start to be a long guy with the Red Sox. He's an established closer, and when you have that at the back end, you know, you get your starters to give you 6 innings, 6 quality innings. That's all you're asking for if you're Rick Renteria.
And on top of the talent in the pen, they have lefties in the pen.
Right, Reyes. You know, I was talking to Jorge Cantu today, and he was telling us, watch out for Oliver Perez. You know, everybody thinks about the Met days and how he struggled, and you know, when he signed that deal, and was never able to be that, you know, consistent starter. Now he's with the Seattle Mariner organization. He's going to be pitching out of the bullpen. I guess when he was in the Mexican League, you know, this winter for winter ball, he had him up to about 95 miles an hour. So it's going to be interesting to see what he brings when he pitches in this WBC.
Situationally, Rick Renteria and the guys are set up very well. Very, very well with a 5-4 lead right now.
Oh, absolutely, and they're hoping to add on. Arredondo has been on base 3 times, and that's you see what Torres doing here is he's pitching inside. Anything that's away, Arredondo does such a great job of going the other way. He walked the first time, he hit a double out in the left center field gap, a ball up the middle. You kind of want to stay in on him.
Back to Tora, speed. Still got him with the speed of Arredondo. How about the defense by Tora? Gets the speedy Arredondo and gets away with a leadoff single. Here comes Italy in the top of the 7th. Doesn't get any better than that. Fans young and old here at Salt River Fields enjoying a great game. Drew Butera went deep with a 2-run shot, a huge boost for Team Italy. That was back in the 4th inning. Butera with a couple of RBIs. The only batter in the starting lineup without a hit today is Nick Punto, the leadoff man.
Yeah, and if Italy wins this thing, he's going to hear it too. You got a
no
better
question.
player with a goose egg up there?
I may even give it to him if I run into him later.
Yeah. That little fan looked like he was doing the Harlem Shake. Have you ever seen those videos?
I have not seen those videos.
The Miami Heat has one. It's incredible.
I'm going to take your word for that.
Yeah, and then they had one that these 3 guys on a plane actually got the stewardesses and everybody into it. And they had the whole on a plane flight. They were doing the Harlem Shake on a regular plane flight up in the air.
Maybe during the next break
we're going to film one.
Some type of
no, you and I after this.
Really?
Yeah.
Oscar Villarreal is the new pitcher for Mexico, and Chris Denorfia leads off. I'm impressed with your pop culture knowledge.
I was at Yankee camp, and CC Sabathia has one that he has a house in Florida, and he's riding around in a Segway, and he's got a bunch of his family, and they filmed it. It was on YouTube.
Denorfia, a chopper to the left side. Nice stretch by Gonzalez into foul territory, 1 away.
Good play by shortstop Velasquez going into the hole. Long throw. Some fans for Team Mexico.
And here's Anthony Rizzo, first pitch swinging in his last 2 at-bats. Singled and scored a run in his first at-bat. What a good kid. We had the opportunity to talk to him the other day for a while. Just a world of talent.
Outstanding. Outstanding. You know what? It's good to see. He went over to San Diego and had such great minor league numbers. He got that brief time before being traded over to Chicago, and really, you know, he didn't get a chance to actually hit. And in Chicago, he's gotten that chance.
3rd straight time he's gone second base on a ground ball. 4-3. Rizzo's out, and it's 2 away.
Villarreal has done a nice job coming in here in the 7th inning, getting the first two guys out. This is his second World Baseball Classic. He pitched for AAA Baltimore last year, 3-4 with a nice ERA at 2.88.
Throwing strikes and working fast.
Now with the Red Sox, signed with the Red Sox in 2012.
It's Leedy again. Been on base all 3 times. A couple of singles, hit by a pitch. That's a full day. That's a good day.
Besides getting drilled in the elbow, yeah. You're getting into the dominant part of that Mexico bullpen.
Villarreal pitched for Mexico in the last World Baseball Classic. I take that back. He threw in the 2006 World Baseball Classic. Didn't pitch in 09.
Well, you get the first 2 outs, and sometimes you, as a pitcher, you kind of let down a little bit and say, oh, oof, I need one more for the third. Next thing you know, you fall behind, just like he has here, 2-0.
Very impressive day for Leedy. I mentioned the numbers.
Yeah,
what do you see
absolutely.
from him? What do you see from him as a hitter?
Well, you know, for me, he went the other way. As you know, before getting hit, his second at bat, he got a base hit to right field. And this is what the Mariners are looking for. This is what, you know, they need. You know, he's a big kid. They have, you know, he may wind up switching positions. They would like to see more power out of him. But as far as, you know, 2009, he had a good series. He's had a good series so far to start this WBC out. So that's exactly what you see. A guy that can hit to all fields. You know, 3-0 right there. And you know what? The Mazzieri gave Leedy the green light. And there's something that you're going to be aggressive in the zone. You're going to be aggressive at the plate. And 3-0, instead of taking a pitch, you know, he's swinging.
And he's on. So a 2-out base runner. Leedy's aboard. It's good to see him moving well after tumbling into the stands earlier, chasing a foul ball.
Right. You know, with the cuts you right at the knees over there down the third baseline. And he fell well. I think he fell on that lady. He probably thanked her for being the cushion. But here we go. You know, Team Mexico, you get 2 quick outs. Villarreal did, and you walk the third hitter, and that's exactly what you don't want. Now you have a guy that can take you deep in Colabello.
Leedy is not known for speed. He's a big guy. Colabello's in the twin system and behind a first baseman by the name of Justin Morneau.
Yeah, who is that guy?
Well, he's the leader of Team Canada. You're going to see Canada in this pool. He is the leader. Make no mistake. There's a lot of big names on that team, but it is Morneau's team. So for Colabello, this is a great opportunity to make a name for himself outside of the Twins organization.
Right, and he's not a great first baseman. You know, he spent 7 years in independent ball. He's 30 years old, got his shot to play in the Twins organization last year, had a great year. Maybe he moves to the outfield, you know, more of a DH. We're seeing him DH here in game 1. That was close. You get ahead 0-2. Looked like a nice fastball by Villarreal right on the outside part of the plate. Nice frame job by Cota. You gotta like that if you're a pitcher.
The crowd not shy about how they feel about that. That was close.
I wouldn't be very shy either. Well, it kind of surprised everybody. Maybe even surprised Jim Reynolds. He had 0-2 count, off speed count. And Villarreal comes back with a fastball on the outside part of the plate. Definitely fooled Colabello. Maybe fooled Jim Reynolds as well. We have some translation. You hear the fans talking.
We may be better off without it.
Yeah. Okay. I took a couple years in high school Spanish. I know it's a family channel. I can't say the stuff that I know either.
That time he got him. Villarreal gets out of that. Colabello goes down looking. Mexico with a 1-run lead. Mexico has a lead in the bottom of the 7th inning. The fans are certainly helping their cause here. Luis Cruz with a big double to give Team Mexico a lead. And the top of this order is producing crooked number after crooked number. Look at the top two, 4 for 6. They have been on base and they have annoyed this Italian team throughout the entire afternoon.
Exactly. We talked that in the open, and it's all about, getting the table setters on base in front of Cruz and Gonzalez, and that's what they've done here today.
Ramiro Pena with a huge pop-up on the infield. Nick Punta fights the sun and puts that away for the first out. Jeff, we talked earlier about the pitching and how it sets up. The hitting is doing the same thing. The guys at the top are getting on for the big guys.
Well, exactly. Arredondo, 2 for 3 today. He's scored 3 runs so far. The go-ahead run, and Pena with 2 big doubles. Cruz had the big RBI, and then when you walk Gonzalez, and then Cantu had that big 3 RBI double. That's exactly what they want, and we talked about that. Get on in front of the big hitters. Cruz had a very good year with the Dodgers. Gonzalez, one of the best hitters in baseball, and Cantu, a very experienced big leaguer as well. Keep the front guys off base. Makes it a little bit easier, not a lot, a little bit easier to pitch to the middle of the lineup for Mexico.
Luca Panarotti is your new pitcher, only 23 years old.
This is his first World Baseball Classic. Played in the Italian Baseball League. Played for the Red System from 2008 to 2011. As high as he's reached is Class A.
He's from Grosseto. Is that on your list of places to go?
I'm sure it will be. I'm sure it will be.
Two away.
I don't need the big city thing. I don't need Rome and all that. Give me the back streets.
So when you contact Marco Mazzieri to serve as your tour guide,
right,
you will tell him back streets are fine.
Back streets, yes. Give me the hood.
You're all about that.
Yeah, and it's it's all about finding the corner shop too. Eating the food. Good times.
Send me pictures. Adrian Gonzalez, a 2-out hit. He's been on base all 4 times today.
We get a fastball right on the inside part of the plate. Gonzalez stays with it. That is a great swing. Lefties in general have some of the best swings, smoothest swings in baseball.
Well, he may have the smoothest of the lefties.
Yeah, Marco Mazzieri coming out, maybe possibly making a pitching change.
And this is a pitching change. 1 man on, 2 out, bottom 7. We'll be back to Salt River Fields. Beautiful shots of the Scottsdale, Phoenix area. The blimp providing these amazing shots on a perfect day. And I mean perfect weather-wise.
Outstanding. And that's, you mentioned, you can't believe that it's going to rain and not play outside tomorrow.
That's okay, because down the road is Chase Field. It has a roof. There'll be no problems. We're moving this game tomorrow. The Italian-Canadian game moves tomorrow down the road instead of Salt River. Just in case of the rain, they're expecting some big rain. Nicholas Pugliese is your new pitcher for Italy, and he comes in with a man on and 2 out.
This is his first World Baseball Classic. He was drafted by the Los Angeles Angels in 2008. Only played 5 seasons, got as high as AA Arkansas. Now he plays in the Italian Baseball League.
He will contend with Jorge Cantu.
A little sidewinder too. Watch him. A little 3/4 type guy. Little slider, 81 miles an hour.
If you're looking for an Italian link, which we all do when we look at these rosters,
yeah.
Great grandparents from Italy. Chopper to third. And he makes quick work of Cantu. So here comes Italy. They're trailing in this game by 1. Big bat today, Drew Butera. He's coming up third in the 8th. Is there a better way to spend a beautiful afternoon than at the ballpark, watching your country play in the World Baseball Classic? He's got that roll down perfectly. Later today, the 2013 World Baseball Classic continues. Venezuela takes on the Dominican Republic in the Pool C opener. That's about 45 minutes from now. That's from San Juan, Puerto Rico. Then tomorrow at Chase Field, Game 2 in Pool D, Italy taking on Team Canada. That game starts at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. Mike Costanzo leads off the 8th inning for Italy, with Italy trailing 5-4. Fernando Salas doing the pitching now for the Mexican team.
Villarreal did an outstanding job in his work in the 7th inning. 1 inning, he walked 1, struck out 1. Now we're getting to the experienced guys, the guys that close games. Here you go, Fernando Salas. He was a closer in 2011 at 24 saves for the Cardinals. Last year was out of that role. This is 3rd big league season. 1-4 with 4.30 ERA last year. And we're getting to the part of the bullpen that has strikeout stuff, Matt. I mean, you know, last year Salas a little over 9 strikeouts per, a little over 1 an inning. Romo the same way. You like when you have guys that can throw up the strikeouts, throw up the Ks. And it's also for Italy, you have guys, they know what Salas is about. They know what Romo's about. It puts a little bit more pressure on the hitters. You have guys going to be right around the plate.
He got him. You mentioned strikeout stuff, and there it is to start things off. We're proud to have one of the world's most recognizable blimps provide coverage of today's game. The unique aerial views of the World Baseball Classic delivered live from our friend and eye in the sky, MetLife Snoopy 2. Breathtaking.
Yeah, the valley's amazing, huh?
Well, we've been driving around here for 3 days, and every time we get in the car, I say to you, man, look at that.
Roadrunner and Coyote?
Yeah, well, in addition to thinking of the Roadrunner and Coyote, I say, look how beautiful that is.
It is.
And then you go around the bend and you say, look at that.
Some great scenery. You spend some time here. You have Sedona. You go as you're going up to the Grand Canyon, a few hours away. Nice picture of a cactus. They don't have that in New York, do they?
Not unless you brought it there.
Saguaro. Here we go. That's what it is. Saguaro.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah. Suaro. Sorry, I'm not in with the lingo here.
Look at that.
Suaro.
You tried so
I tried.
hard.
You know, I knew it began with an S.
You tried.
It began with an S.
You tried to show
You know
off.
what? I've been trying to get these names right on both these teams. I can't get a simple Cactus name. Suaro. Yes.
Marco Chiarini is your batter here with 1 out. The weather is really perfect now. You know, come July, you know, dehydration may factor in.
When it's about 1,000 degrees.
There's Salas with the Cardinals. What an asset for this Mexican team. And after Chiarini is Butera, who had a huge home run, a 2-run shot in the 4th inning. But he'll come up with nobody on base and 2 away.
Well, he's still the tying run.
Here it is in the 4th inning. Butera with a man on just crushed this ball.
Well, he gets a breaking ball up in the zone. Again, it doesn't break too well here in Arizona. He made it set his pay. Tied up the game at that time at 4-4. He's fired up.
Got to be a challenge for a catcher in the World Baseball Classic who gets together with new teammates not long before the games begin. And not only is he hitting and doing all the things catchers do, but he's learning pitchers that he normally doesn't see.
Right, but the good part of it is he's got some big league experience. So, you know, he knows, you know, even if you have some inexperienced pitchers out there, he can handle a staff. And usually you're going to trust a catcher that has been there before.
We're approaching 4 o'clock local time, and wouldn't you know it, Jeff?
Yeah.
There they are, the shadows.
And that's exactly, and you know, I know Italy feels that as well, because you have Romo that's going to wind up pitching in 9th, and when you have those shadows leaking out over the plate, you know, it's not the fastballs that hitters have a hard time with. It's the spin. It's the breaking balls that they can't pick up because, you know, they're in the shadows and this pitcher's coming out of the sun. And it's going to wind up leaking right out over the front of the plate. And it's almost that last bit reaction that hitter has to make.
So when the shadows do extend, the shadow will be in front of the plate. So the ball will be going from light to dark.
From light to dark. And that, you know, you talk to hitters around the league, and I asked him, I said, what's harder to pick up? And he said, obviously you can see a fastball, but it's a spin on a breaking ball or a slider or even a split finger that you're going to have a hard time seeing when it's coming from the sun into the shade.
Advantage pitcher, big time.
And that's not good if you're Italy. Then you're going to have to face Romo.
If they hold the lead, you'll see him. And he had some very interesting things to say. He is fired up to pitch in this World Baseball Classic with a chance to do damage. We're not there yet. Butera is still alive here.
Well, Salas, just like Villarreal, got quick 2 outs in the 7th inning. He winds up walking the 3rd hitter. He gets out of it. But Salas the same way. He get 2 quick outs. And he falls behind. And now evens the count at 3-2. That's 3rd out. Sometimes tough to come by.
There's a fly ball to right center field. No problem for Arredondo. Bottom 8 coming up. It's a 1-run game. Great start to the World Baseball Classic in the Phoenix bracket. It's a 5-4 game with Mexico on top of Italy as we head to the bottom of the 8th inning. Italy led this game 2-0, fell behind, tied it, and then Mexico retook the lead. So it's late now, Jeff Nelson.
It is late now. You see the shadows creeping over home plate. Sergio Romo won a World Series with the Giants last year, helped them in the 9th inning as a closer, and he's going to be expected to come out here and do the same thing against Italy.
It's Nicholas Pugliese facing Karim Garcia. That is a deep fly ball to left field, but it is foul. Home run distance, but about 20 feet to the left.
Those replays might have been come in play. That's one thing here in the WBC. We're going to see the replays. Here's a fastball up in the zone. We're actually down, and Karim Garcia stays with it. He thought he got it. He was begging. He was trying to lean a little bit.
That is some serious pop the other way.
Exactly. You know, one thing with sidearmers, guys that throw 3/4, you know, lefties see them a little bit better than obviously righties. The ball's riding away from a lefty.
He goes that way again. Costanzo trying to shade the sun. And you can see from his reaction how difficult it is out there.
You got the high skies, you got the sun bearing down on you, and I don't care if you have glasses or not. Well, actually,
that's what he's looking at. That is what Costanzo in left field is looking at.
Look at his glasses. Do you have highs on your hat? Here's a fastball. The sun's already tough. He tries to shade using his glove. And his sunglasses are where there, Matt?
Well, they're on his hat, Jeff.
They're on his hat.
I think we established that. They're on his hat. And
you think they maybe be over your eyes?
Well, you know, he either got caught or didn't think he needed them right now.
Oh, I guess.
Either way, he makes the catch, and it's a big first out. Garcia is gone, and Edgar Gonzalez is up.
And he still hasn't put those things on.
No, he has not.
No. That's the style now I think.
What's interesting is that
you have two pair. You put one on your eyes, and then you put one on the top of your head, and then you're cool breezing it.
What we saw the other day, we watched the Italian team play in a different venue, and Costanzo missed a fly ball.
Exactly, for the same reason in Oakland or over there in Phoenix with the A's.
Very interesting.
Still on top of the head. Well, even the manager and everybody has them on top of their head. I'm going to have to do that.
The manager?
I only knew as a player.
The manager has him on his hat?
Yes, Marco.
Frank Catalinato, one of the coaches, on his hat.
Who's setting the example here? You drop a fly ball, who cares? At least you look good doing it, right?
Well, he didn't drop it today.
No, he didn't.
Tom Treblehorn has his
glasses
his
on.
Regular glasses.
Yeah. That's his spectacles. That's so he can see the ball going out there.
I'll tell you what, that's some coaching staff, Jeff. They have a lot of experience on that staff.
Catalinato, I played against him for years when he was with Texas. Toronto, great guy. You went to your high school, right?
He did. A few years younger. Same high school that produced Major Leaguer Jim Messier, a former teammate of yours.
Here's Frank Catalinato, 13 big league seasons. He looks like he can still. I went up to him the other day when we were over there in Phoenix. I said, he looks like he can still play.
He absolutely looks like he could still play.
Well, didn't we kids say, you know what, the best two power hitters are their coaches? Catalinato and Mike Piazza.
Catalinato and Piazza. Catalinato, Smithtown East High School. Might as well get that in there.
Yeah, I know. Nobody
up.
knew where you were talking. There we go. Mike Piazza, maybe future Hall of Famer.
And you know what I said to Piazza the other day? Was there any thought about playing in this one?
Right.
He played in 06, coached in 09. He also looks like he's in great shape. And he said, he laughed actually first. Yeah. Kind of chuckled at me and he said, that ship has sailed.
Well, I was talking to him today during batting practice, and I asked him, about, different players, whether it was United States or whatever, not backing out, but not wanting to play for their country. In 06 when he did play, he was with San Diego, and he was over there trying to make a team. And Italy came to him and asked him if he would play, and he said to Towers, he said, listen, I'm going to go play. And they were like, what are you thinking? And he says, I don't care. He says, whatever. I want to go represent my country. I have a chance to play for Team Italy. I'm doing it. And you like to see more of that.
Absolutely. And to expand.
You get a chance to play for your country. I don't care. I mean, why wouldn't you want to do that?
I'm in total agreement. Meanwhile, Edgar's involved in a great at bat here against Pugliese. To expand on what Piazza said, it wasn't a question of him not necessarily being able to perform, but he said, what would be the point? We're trying to develop new talent. He said, yeah, it would make a splash.
He's already a name. Yeah,
exactly. He didn't think there'd be an upside greater than trying to develop young players.
Right.
Here comes the 10th pitch of this at bat to Edgar.
You see how tough the three-quarter guy is on right-handed hitters. It's the 10th pitch, and it was a great sinker, nice fastball on the inside part of the plate, and there was no way Gonzalez was going to be able to hit that ball. If it was going to be off his ankle.
Humberto Cota, the 8-hitter, steps in now. 2 outs, nobody on.
And right-handed hitters don't like when the ball's coming in on them.
Cota gives it a ride to left field, and that is foul. The exact same spot Karim Garcia hit a ball earlier.
You're right, exact same spot, and you know Pugliese just left a breaking ball out over the plate. You look at this, a little slider, kind of stayed out over the middle of the plate, and Cota just got out in front of it, just a little bit. It was about what, 10 feet foul. Had enough.
That might be a case of one fan, 2 foul balls in the same inning.
Exactly. And here's a chance. You just hung a breaking ball. It's not very sharp. You're going to see if he goes back inside with that fastball he struck out Gonzalez on. No, he goes and he throws a little spinner again.
Well, you mentioned him a number of times, and there he is, Sergio Romo, a World Series hero with the Giants and the closer for Mexico.
And he has a different look.
He does. It looks like the whiskers are a little shorter.
Yeah, he's got the little landing strip on front of his chin.
You're going to see him in the 9th inning.
Yeah.
And this is
Absolutely.
exactly how they planned it out, right?
Well, they were talking, make this a 6th inning game, and then you're getting to the strength of our team, and that was their bullpen. Now he just has to go out and do the job in the 9th.
Fly ball to right. That's going to do it. Here comes Italy, trailing by 1 and facing one of the best closers in the world. 5-4 going top 9. Team Italy down to their final 3 outs in the opener in Pool D. And they're going to have to overcome one of the best closers in the world in Sergio Romo, who only a few months ago closed out the World Series against the Detroit Tigers, and he did so for the San Francisco Giants.
I want to see if he gets the same, the same kind of emotions that he did in the World Series. A little dance where he's, shoveling his fist. What a great job he did last year for taking over for Brian Wilson. You're talking to a guy who pitched in the 7th and 8th inning. You know what a great job he did in the last few years in that role, and then to come out and what would he say, like 15, 14 games last year in 2012 as the closer, and then help the Giants win the World Series. Outstanding job.
This is a pinch hitter, Lorenzo Avanina, for Team Italy. This is a must-win for the Mexican side, with Canada and the United States upcoming for this club.
And you know the emotions have got to be the same as pitching in the World Series. You're pitching for your country. This is a 1-run lead. This is exactly the way Rick Renteria drew this up. Get his bullpen one. Villarreal, Salas, now Romo.
And Romo is an emotional guy.
Oh,
there
absolutely.
Is no
a guy that doesn't
doubt.
really throw that hard. I mean, you're talking about 87 to 90 miles an hour. Great sink, great changeup, good split. Pitches on pure heart.
A chopper to first. Gonzalez to Romo, one away. Let's take you back now. Game 4 of the World Series in Detroit. He gets Miguel Cabrera looking to win it.
There it is, let it out. I want to see the same thing if he does it in the 9th inning today.
What a scene. I had the privilege of being there for that.
Yeah,
Talked to Romo.
Exactly.
You were there, I was there. I talked to Romo, and he said after that game about getting Cabrera, if you want to be the best, you have to beat the best. And he did that.
He did.
To close out that series. There's Punto to left, deep. And it drops in, and he's on second base. A 1-out double. Edgar Gonzalez lets a ball drop between himself and the wall with a 1-run lead.
Well, Nick Punto being very aggressive, gets a first pitch fastball out in the zone, up and away. Gonzalez, normally an infielder, asked to play the outfield, kind of didn't know what to do and looked at the ball the whole way. Kind of let that fly ball play him a little bit. And I'm sure Sergio Romo in the big leagues is used to that ball getting caught, but you're asking an infielder to go out in the outfield, and Edgar Gonzalez. The Sun already playing tough out there, as we saw earlier with Costanzo for Italy. And at least Gonzalez had the shades on, but wasn't able to come up with it.
We have a pinch runner now for Nick Punto. DeSimone is your pinch runner. Let me ask you about that fly ball. Is Mexico playing no doubles at that point to prevent a runner from getting into scoring position?
Yeah, you would think, but down the lines with Nick Punto, you don't think he has enough pop to hit it over the outfielder's head. Now, down the lines, you did have the third baseman and Gonzalez playing on the line to cut that off. Outfield, you don't expect that out of Nick Punto, especially going the other way. And normally that ball should have been caught anyway, but, you know, an infielder going to the outfield. Here we get a nice little tight slider. That's right over the plate. And here you're talking about, you look at the shadows again. We'll watch that. It's creeping over his feet. Might play a little part in the pitcher batter.
Denorfia is 1 for 4 lifetime against Romo. Not that time.
Well, you got the slider for a strike, and Romo trying to expand the zone and seeing if Denorfia will go out there and reach for it. Here's a situation in 1 and 2. You may see Romo come back with that slider. He did, just caught the outside part of the plate, but the fans wanted it. I would want it too, but I think this is a little bit outside. I think Jim Reynolds did a great job of calling that a ball. Good frame job by Cota, but I think that's outside. I can't beg all the time.
Two and 2 on Denorfia with a man in scoring position and Italy down a run. Full count with the most dangerous hitter on the Italian team waiting on deck in Anthony Rizzo.
Well, it's his time to shine. Denorfia has done a great job of laying off some of those nasty sliders, but something that, you know, a lot of closers don't like doing is coming inside. You know, if Romo, you get ahead 0-2, if Romo came inside at all during this pitch sequence, it opens up that outside part of the plate. Maybe you get Denorfia swinging and missing. Now he gets right back into a hitter's count in 3-2.
Oh, he fights that one off.
Those 4 straight sliders by Romo.
And you mentioned the shadows a few minutes ago. They're creeping and creeping and creeping.
And it's going to play the favor of a pitcher in Sergio Romo. You know, I know closers and pitching coaches always say, hey, don't get beat inside late in the game. But you have to get these hitters off your outside pitch. You just threw 4 straight sliders. 2 of them could have been swing and misses, but you didn't come inside and set those pitches up at all.
What a battle here. A couple of guys who see each other in the National League. Denorfia on the Padres, Romo of the Giants. A small sample size, but they are very familiar with one another.
Oh, absolutely. And, you know, Sergio Romo's thrown 2 sliders. That's a 6th one in a row. It's kind of just spun out over the middle of the plate the last 2. Denorfia was able to foul him off.
And here comes the 8th pitch of this at bat. Couldn't ask for anything more in an opener.
No, absolutely not. You got a 1-run game, 1 out. You got the tying run on at second base for Italy. Your best hitter on deck in Anthony Rizzo.
Staying alive.
Well, Romo came back with a fastball, and then all of a sudden he comes back with another slider. Just caught the inside part of the plate, and Denorfia fouls it off his knee. Good little battle here.
10th pitch coming. Mexican fans are concerned.
They're biting their nails.
Denorfia with a base hit to left. They're holding the runner, but Italy now has 2 men on against Romo with Rizzo coming up.
Well, Simone had to hold. It was a line drive over shortstop. As we see here, Romo throwing another slider again up in the zone. Denorfia, great at bat, hits it into left field. But De Simone had to hold on that. You didn't know if Velasquez was going to catch that ball. A break for Team Mexico.
That's a smart play by the third base coach with Rizzo coming up in less than 2 outs.
Well, absolutely. I mean, I know it was your tying run, but you had a bad jump, and you don't want a guy getting thrown out at the plate. You got 2 outs, yeah, maybe you let him go. But with 1 out, your best hitter up, you got to take your chances.
0 for 3 against Romo. That's in Major League Baseball. Romo gets ahead of Rizzo. This is what you want. You want your closer facing the best hitter. Both teams have played the entire afternoon for this.
Exactly, and the tough part of it is that you have the shadows creeping in out over home plate now. If you're Anthony Rizzo, you got to look away. You know, Romo's not a guy that's going to throw inside. He's going to try to flip that slider, backdoor it. You saw the first pitch fastball was away. Anthony Rizzo's just got to stay with the pitch and punch it into left field, not try to pull this thing and turn it over for a possible double play. As he tried there, as he tried to pull that ball, he's got to stay with the pitch. Romo's going to throw him away. You got to hit the ball the other way.
And he has grounded out to second base in 3 consecutive at bats. If he does that here, there's a very good chance this game is over.
And if you're Denorfia at first base, here's something that if you want to make something happen, you almost try to get him to run in some aspect to see if you can try to steal a run from third base. See what kind of, you know, fundamentals Team Mexico has. You have them down in the count 0-2. You don't want to strike them out, throw them out. But maybe try to make something on the base paths. Make something happen.
Rizzo with a fly ball to left. Gonzalez back to the track, and he drops it. He drops it. 1 run is in, and the go-ahead run is in. Are you kidding?
Well, we got an infielder going out to the outfield. We saw the play earlier where he misjudged the ball in punto. Right now, the same way. He went back. Maybe the ball's bouncing all around in his eyes. Hits out of his glove. You look here, fastball. Anthony Rizzo had to be looking away. He got a fastball away. He knows how to sac fly. Gonzalez didn't get back. He thought the wall was coming up a lot sooner. In and out of his glove. And
the Italian team has a lead in the 9th inning. 6-5 on 2 separate occasions this inning. Edgar Gonzalez could have caught 2 fly balls. The first one got over his head. That one pops out of his mitt. Shocking. That one gets away from the catcher, and now things are really falling apart for the Mexican side.
Well, you got a 1-run game. You're hoping for clean baseball, and that's something that you didn't want to happen. You have an inexperienced left fielder, Edgar Gonzalez. Here's a little, that's a pass ball, ejecto mitt. Close the glove, and maybe the catcher's having a hard time with it as well as far as coming out of the shadows.
But that's a huge advance by the runner with 1 out, because now an insurance run standing on third, a fly ball, and this becomes a 2-run game.
Exactly, and I want to give a lot of credit to Denorfia. He was on first, it was first and third. He goes all the way to second base and all the way, and actually passes second to read the fly ball, and he knows he could get back to first. But that ball was dropped, and he scored easily on a play all the way from first because of his heads-up base running.
Alex Leedy, great day in the opener with a chance to produce another run.
Well, we have the infield in for Team Mexico. They have to, they know Anthony Rizzo doesn't run well. Shortstop and second base are not into the grass.
Infield in, they come home. They have Rizzo now caught in a rundown. Liddy's taken off for second, and Rizzo is out.
Well, that's exactly what you want. You're going on contact. Anthony Rizzo saw that ball hit. It was right in front of him. I mean, it's a little tough to go on contact, but he did a great job to stay in that rundown to get Alex Leedy into second base. You see here, Romo did a great job of getting the ground ball. And then Anthony Rizzo did also a great job of staying in that rundown. Now you have, again, a runner in scoring position, so you're really not losing anything if you're in your Team Italy.
There is a second out. And here's another look at that rundown.
Well, Italy going on contact, Anthony Rizzo going on contact right in front of you, kind of tough. But a few throws, you're taught to run that runner back as hard as you can to the previous base. Romo did it. The pitcher winds up tagging out Anthony Rizzo, but he did a good job of staying in the rundown. Alex Leedy in scoring position. He was able to get to second base.
Christopher Colabello is the batter now. You wouldn't think that with Romo in the game you'd see anybody even standing in the Mexican pen.
No, exactly. But you know what? You don't want to lose him either for tomorrow when you're playing against USA. If you throw 30 pitches, you have to have a day off. And right now his pitch counts at 23.
And what could be going through the mind of Edgar Gonzalez? Not only is he a natural infielder, but he's in left field with a terrible sun.
Exactly.
In a key situation.
And then you go, right now Italy has the lead 6-5. You're going into one of their maybe only strengths, and that's the 9th inning guy in Jason Grilli.
And Grilli is warming up. He's getting ready. He'll be protecting a lead, whether it's 1 or 2 or more.
Outstanding year for Pittsburgh last year. Hanrahan goes to Boston. He's going to get a chance to close for Pittsburgh this year.
For the first time in his career, he's going to be handed the ball as a regular closer.
He's been in the league a long time, 10 years as a setup guy.
And he brings a wealth of experience to this Italian team. Proud to do it as well. There's a ball back to Romo. Mexico is now trailing by a run. Here comes Grilli. Italy 3 outs away from a tremendous win. What a turn of events here at Talking Stick. These are the Gonzalez brothers talking between innings.
Well, here's your leader, going up to his brother or anyone and basically saying, listen, you can't blame it on me. We got 3 more outs to go, and we got to get it, and we got to get it back right here. And you can't worry about it. You're asked to be playing. You're asked to play left field. You have tough skies. You have the sun in your eyes. You did everything you could, and you can't hang your hat. I mean, you got 2 more games right now.
Jason Grilli, the closer, 36 years old. Couldn't ask for more experience or a better guy to anchor a pen.
No, absolutely not. We talked to him the other day, and the pride that he has playing for Team Italy. It's brings a lot of experience. The only experienced guy in that back end of the bullpen. This is what it's all about. He's going to be asked to do the same thing for the Pittsburgh Pirates this year.
Efren Navarro is your pinch hitter here to lead off the 9th. Talked to Grilli the other day, and he said this is not a dog and pony show. We are here to win.
Well, this is his 3rd baseball classic. He was there in 06. He was there in 09. He threw the big 3 innings against Canada in 09 to upset them. And he's back. I mean, guys, the players for Italy respect when players like Jason Grilli come back every year and want to play for him.
It will not be easy. After Navarro, the pinch hitter, the lineup turns over. Eduardo Arredondo's on deck. Arredondo has had a big day. A couple of hits, a walk, and 3 runs scored. This was a must-win for Mexico. Now you flip it around and you say if Italy can get through this, they're in great shape. Facing Canada tomorrow. What a thrill that would be. What a boost if they can beat this Mexican team.
Well, I mean, talking Mazzieri today, hey, we're confident. I'm happy. I feel we have a great shot. And nobody's really giving them a shot. They're like, oh, not a lot of experience. Yeah, you won an 09 and you beat Canada, you upset them. But can you do it to Team Mexico?
Not so fast. Navarro with a pinch hit single. What a game.
Oh, outstanding. A leadoff hitter. You get a fastball out over the middle of the plate. Grilli kind of misses his location. Navarro was able to hit it in the left field for a base hit. Now you get your leadoff runner on with the top of the lineup up.
Navarro is out. A pinch runner is in. Walter Ibarra is your pinch runner. Arredondo at the plate.
And this is tough to bunt in the shadows as well. I mean, I don't care if you can see the fastball, but it's all of a sudden sneaking up on you. Grilli throws hard. You're asking Arredondo to lay one down and move the tying run into second base. No, it's exactly what he's supposed to do, but it's awful tough with these shadows. Adrian Gonzalez waiting and hoping to get that shot to come up. And this is great. I practice. This is a great situation for Jason Grilli. You're talking about the big league pressure of the 9th inning. Well, this is the exact same thing. Your team gets the lead, comes back and scores 2 in the top of the 9th. They're asking for the most veteran guy that they have on this roster to close this out and get them their game 1 victory.
Squaring again. This time he gets it down, and it is perfect.
That was a great sack bunt. Fastball right there. As a pitcher, you don't want to walk anybody. You almost want to get that out. You don't want to try to trick the hitter. Grilli throws it down the middle. Great sack bunt. There you go. You just want to get the out. When you bunt the ball, you're asked to almost catch it on that bat. Great bunt by Arredondo.
Tying run moves into scoring position, and Ramiro Pena, the second baseman, is up from Mexico with Adrian waiting on deck.
What do you think's tougher? You know, you're pitching, you're trying to close it out for your country, or pitching in a major league game? I don't know.
You'd be more qualified to answer that question.
I don't know. I've never pitched for my country. I mean, I've pitched in many a playoff times, but it's fun. But this is getting televised from with over 200 countries.
The adrenaline on March 7th is flowing, and Jason Grilli is in the middle of it.
You can hear all the fans yell Mexico here at Salt River Stadium, or Salt River Fields.
Pena fights one off. Grilli is bringing it up there at 97.
This is what date is this? March 7th?
This is March 7th, and he's throwing 97.
Think the adrenaline's pumping? Just a little.
In a typical season without the WBC, he's probably thrown 3 or 4 spring training innings at this point.
Exactly.
He saws him off, 2 away.
Well, Grilli did a great job right there. You know, just stayed inside on Ramiro Pena. Did not give him anything to hit out over the middle of the plate. Threw a saw blade in there, was able to get him out, fly ball to shortstop. 2 outs. Here it is.
Luis Cruz.
Here's the guy you want right here. You don't want anybody getting on. Having first and second with one of the best hitters in baseball, and Gonzalez on deck.
Luis Cruz following in the footsteps of his father, who played in the Mexican League.
I tell you what, you think the hitters are a little bit ahead of the pitchers? Not when somebody's throwing 96 miles an hour, 97 miles an hour.
And look where the shadows are now.
Yeah, exactly.
Midway between the mound and home plate.
Then you drop a slider on him. That's not fair.
Is it impossible? Is it impossible with those shadows to pick up the rotation?
No, that's the one thing that hitters can't do. They can't pick up the rotation. They can see something that's straight, and they try to swing in the zone, but as far as the breaking pitch, no clue. Fastball up and away.
That one is long and foul.
It's caught a little bit too much of that plate. You have Utera going out there talking to Grilli, asking him what he wants to do. Utera wanted it away, maybe a little bit too much, and it caught too much of that outside part of the plate. Cruz was able to handle it. You either can go one of 2 things. You go slider again, or you go fastball a little bit higher up in the zone, see if Cruz will fish for it. That's what he did. He climbed the ladder just a little bit, threw inside, nice fastball up.
This will get your blood pumping, huh?
I mean, you're ahead 0-2. I would go up even higher. He just fouled that off, just got enough. You know, climb the ladder a bit more. You can see catchers sometimes stand up.
Here's the 0-2 again.
That was a good pitch. You know, you wanted to get a little bit higher, maybe away. Now it sets up anything. You can come back inside with a fastball, and you also throw that slider away.
And there it was.
That was a good slider, too. That was tough for Cruz to lay off. What a great job to lay off on that. Nice tight slider away. I don't know how you lay off of that pitch. Then you come back with it. A little bit too much of adrenaline for Grilly. Trying to overthrow a little bit. This is your hitter right here. This is the pitch. 3-2.
And his brother, Edgar, hoping that Adrian can get him
Pick
off
me
the
up,
hook.
bro. Pick me up.
3-2 to Cruz.
Grilly wanted that. You see the emotion. This is what it's all about. Barking at Jim Reynolds. You don't want to get him thrown out. It's a major league ump. He's had a tight zone in the beginning, but pretty fair. I think that pitch was away. Grilly wanted it. This is the emotions about pitching for your country. I guess that answered my question about big leagues or pitch for your country. Here it is. Grilly thought he has it. Great frame by Butera. Just a little bit outside. A little bit outside. And here's your guy.
So now we start over again. Now it's first and second, and the winning run is on base. And Adrian Gonzalez steps in. One of the best hitters in the world with a chance to win this game for his country.
And I'm sure he's faced Grilly in the big league season before.
Adrian is 2 for 5 in his career against Jason Grilly.
So that would be like 400.
I think you throw the numbers out in this situation.
You do. But the one thing is you have seen him. I mean, if you're Adrian Gonzalez, you have seen Jason Grilly, and you know he throws hard. Probably going to wind up staying away. Nice breaking ball, nice slider in on the hands of Adrian Gonzalez. Good pitch by Jason Grilly.
Quickly 0-2, and just as Mexico had Rizzo to get through, now Italy has Gonzalez to get through.
And the end of it is, if you're a pitcher, a little bit different with Anthony Rizzo. He's a young player. He probably has some holes in his swing, but I guarantee if you're Jason Grilly, you're never comfortable even getting ahead of a guy like Adrian Gonzalez. You're saying, okay, I still have to make my pitch. I mean, there's certain hitters around baseball that even though you get ahead of them, you're not real comfortable about getting them out, and Adrian Gonzalez is one of them.
He pops him up in foul territory and back into the crowd. Butera gave that a look. Butera gave that a look, but that was well out of play.
Yeah, exactly, and he stayed inside. Grilly has stayed inside. He's pounding the right-handers in. He's also pounding the left-handers, and Adrian Gonzalez. Nice breaking ball. They fouled off and 2 straight fastballs in on the hand of Adrian. He respects Adrian Gonzalez can go the other way.
That was close.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like the pitch to Cruz. It was away, but you know what? That's why it's tough when you're facing guys like this. You know what? They have such plate discipline. They have a great eye, and they make you as a pitcher come in out over the plate.
Adrian Gonzalez, foul.
That was close. Another fastball inside, down and in. Just dropped the head a little bit. It's game 1. It's an outstanding game, Matt.
It's a critical game. It's a crucial game in pool play.
The guys videoing it, fans videotaping it. Here's Edgar. Say, come on, bro, pick me up.
And it hit him. That ball hit Adrian Gonzalez.
Yeah, it was another slider that was inside. It got him on like a back foot. You see here, Grilli wants to go with that slider. Hung on to it just a little bit, hit off that left knee. That can't feel too good. It's the 5th time Adrian Gonzalez has been on base. 2 for 2. 2, an intentional walk, 2 walks, and a hit batter.
And an entire country and organization in the Dodgers are hoping that Gonzalez is just fine.
I'm sure he will be. He's feeling it right now, but it's going to be a lot less if they can score some runs right here. And we talked about Cantu earlier.
We have bases loaded and 2 outs in the bottom of the 9th inning. Italy took the lead in the top of the 9th. Jason Grilli is facing Jorge Cantu. First pitch in there.
Well, it's just like the first inning. Cantu got up to bat with the bases loaded, came through with the bases clearing double. He's just asking for a base hit, see if they can score that winning run at second base. This is his time. You talk about, okay, trying to work for a job or hit for a job.
Cantu has a history against Grilli. 1 for 5. Cantu had a huge hit early in this game. Great block.
That was. You look at this ball, it's a breaking ball in the dirt. You get that kind of backward spin. It comes back towards the hitter. Nice block by Butera.
That would have been the tying run if that ball gets past him.
Here we got a hitter's count again for Jorge Cantu. A good fastball hitter. He'll turn on any 97, 98.
And Grilli has nowhere to put him.
You know, I know you want to be aggressive as a hitter, but I think, you know, 3-1, you're going to see the same pitch 3-2. I think if you're Jorge Cantu, you got to take here. And he didn't. He said, I'm gonna be the hero with a hit. Well, right here, Matt, here's an example of a 3-2 pitch, bases loaded. When you have an easy play at any base, puts a little bit more pressure on the defense. Now you got to go across the diamond with a good throw.
While the game is on the line for Italy, Grilli has thrown too many pitches to pitch tomorrow. And here's a ground ball. That's your ball game. And Italy wins it. They survive to beat Mexico 6-5.
Well, this is definitely a surprise. You know, you thought Italy was going to wind up struggling, scoring some runs. What they do, they came back with 6. It was the opposite. 6 2/3 scoreless by Italy in their bullpen. They were outstanding today.
And they are celebrating on the field right now. This is a tremendous win in the opener of Pool D in Scottsdale. Final score, 6-5. Italy beats Mexico.